Galatasaray.
Yeah, bro.
Guys, embarrassment. Hello and welcome back to South Football Corner. I forgot that I completely took off the intro because I was doing a pre-recorded, but we're here. We're here for another episode of South
What was
Football
the
Corner.
moment? It's all right.
As you could hear, man like T is going crazy because Leroy Sané has signed for Galatasaray. Souls is not here yet because he's taking a shit.
Shit.
He's
He's
taking
taking
a
a
shit.
shit. AFTV
AFTV
Souls.
Souls.
He's
He's
taking a
taking
shit.
a shit. So that's obviously happening. But
He's moving
we
like
are
his
here,
manager,
man.
bro.
We are here, man. We are here. Do you know what I mean? And for all the people that are saying there's no bid, clickbait, mate. It's YouTube. Live with it, mate. Hold. Do you know what I mean? If you believe that, hold. If you didn't, hold anyway. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. But listen, we are going to be speaking about Victor Gyökeres. We're going to be speaking about Nico Williams and speaking about Rodrigo. We're going to be speaking about Man City and all of their freaking signings, man. These guys are signing everyone. We're also going to be speaking about Joao Pedro to Newcastle. Very good move, in my opinion, for Newcastle there. We're also going to be speaking about Tottenham Hotspur coming in with a mad bid apparently for Brian Mbeumo, trying to get him away from Manchester United. And obviously, who else is there that we've had news from?
Hato? Linked with
Yeah,
us
Hato.
and Chelsea.
Hato. We're going to be speaking about Hato, Gerard Hato for Chelsea and
Nippon.
Arsenal.
Nippon joined City.
Yeah, we're gonna speak of that in the City section because there's so many players to like speak about in the City section because they're just signing everyone. Like the amount of times I've seen this guy, big up to Souls. The amount of times I've seen this Man City guy just next to a player and just smiling while they're signing.
I think this is gonna be one of those shows where we are just gonna talk the least about Arsenal and the most about others because
honestly, because
anything going on right
there's
now.
not a lot to say. So we might as well start off with Arsenal because
We always hope that's the case, but it never is.
actually, you know what? Let's not start with Arsenal. Let's not start with Arsenal because because it will get a bit too long. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's gonna be too
it'll
long.
keep going. Let's start with all the teams.
So
So let's come to Arsenal.
Let's start with Man City, and let's start with Nipan because obviously talk of the town in January. Do you know what I mean? We were going. There was like a 3-horse race for this guy. Us, Aston Villa, and Manchester City. Do you know what I mean? It was a bit mad. All three of us were going in for him. Ended up saying that apparently Aston Villa were going to get him. Now, Aston Villa, for some reason, have declined it and said, yeah, we don't want to go ahead with him and we don't want to bring him in. Man City all of a sudden come out of nowhere, bang, get the signature, get everything sorted out with the clubs, and he's signing for them. Now, this guy is a wonder kid, they're saying.
What do you mean Man City came out of nowhere? They were linked with him in Jan.
No, but I'm saying like because we retracted and Man City retracted their interest, but then all of a sudden they came back and they just said, "Yeah, we're taking him." So that's why it was out of nowhere because there was no there was nothing to say or there was nothing to give there was no clue to them actually buying the player. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man, it's out of nowhere, bro. But listen, they got their man, and they seem to be signing everyone. They seem to, or even you saying Fab, even Fabrizio Romano apparently said that they didn't want him in January. I'm sure I saw.
That's not true at all.
Man. I'm sure I saw reports of them being in for him.
David Ornstein in Jan said that they were Man City and also looking at him.
Yeah,
he even attended a City game. And they said they're going to have talks later. So I don't know where the other news came from.
Yeah.
In fact, the hand of whatever the hell his name is every freaking time change, Arsenal or Ozil or whatever crap it is. In January, he said Arsenal are going to get in Jan, he said the Arsenal are going to get the deal done. Clearly, he's not the ITK everyone thinks he is. But
no. He didn't say Arsenal are going to get the deal done. He said it's up to the player. So don't do all of that shit. because I follow this guy. So don't do all of this. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. So he tries to twist words and he goes back to eating, bro. Wallah, what's going on here, bro? What's going on here? This guy is a fraudulent guy, bro.
Because you
He's
guys
a
believe
fraudulent
anyone.
guy, bro. It's
You
not,
believe anyone. That's the
bro.
problem.
It's not anyone, bro. If somebody has a good track record, what are we gonna do?
Track record.
Oh yeah,
Name his
we're
track
gonna
record.
follow
Name his
him.
track record. We'll research it right now. Name his track
I'll
record.
go back and get you every single thing that he's called right, bro.
Okay.
I will get it. We
Fine.
have to get it, and then we'll bring it back to a stream. And
So
then
you're
I'll get
saying,
you.
okay, just to be clear,
He's
the
he's
ones
got
you're
a
gonna
very
get
good
me.
track record.
No. The ones you're gonna get me are ones where he broke the news first.
Yeah,
No one
yeah.
else reported first.
Exclusive for
Okay,
him.
cool.
Exclusive.
I,
Exclusive. for him.
I love this. Let's do this.
No,
Let's do
100%. I'll get them for you. But regardless, Nipan to Manchester City, I don't think it does much, to be honest, in my personal opinion for them. It's just another young talent.
Apparently, they're sending him back. They're loaning him back to.
Oh, are
What
they?
club is he playing for now? Yeah, that's what I read. They're
It
loaning
was
him back.
Rosenberg or something like that.
So Rosenborg, yeah, they're loaning him back apparently to Rosenborg.
Mm.
Sami,
What's
you're on
the fee
It's a-
for?
it's a
What's
good-
the
it's a
fee
good
on
club.
this transfer?
I think it was
An
15
idea?
million. I think it was 15 mil. 15 mil for the guy. Let me just get it up now. 1 second. Where is it? Nipan.
My opinion doesn't change anything really. He's a prospect. He's a potential player, so he might turn out to be a good player. He might turn out to be
Yeah,
a bad
15
player.
mil.
We will not know now.
Yeah.
For us as Arsenal, we don't really care much about those kind of players right now. We're looking at the players who are ready to go, like Gyökeres. Like those are the signings that we need. Like Rodrigo. We're not looking for a prosperous or a project. We're on a stage where we reach with those players that we need to, get over the line and get whatever it takes, and especially the positions that we really need, which is a striker and a left winger. But for City, on the other hand, I mean, those guys are buying what they need and more. So they have the privilege because they're not overhauling the whole squad. They have just replaced few, players in their squad just to get their team back and running and back to the Premier League race. But for us, we just need the striker. So this player really doesn't bother me that we didn't get him or something like that, because I'm sick and tired of getting those type of players. He might turn out to be good, but for me, I don't know the guy, so I'm not gonna say anything about him. I'm not gonna say he's good or bad because I have no clue how he plays. I never watched him play. So yeah.
It depends, bro. I feel like the reason why City bought him is because they already bought like 4 or 5 players. They have
Yes,
the
yes,
room
I
to
agree with
buy
you.
a youngster. They said they bought Reinders, Ait Nouri, Cherky,
Yep.
and so on and so forth. And they said, you know what, we wanted this youngster, let's buy him now because we already
Mhm.
got like 4 or 5 players, so we have the room to get a youngster to learn under these guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Basically,
yeah, I agree
because
with you.
Reinders will start, guaranteed. Cherky will start. So it's one of those situations where you can, because they did the same with McAtee, for example. They started playing him and he started looking good for City. I feel like Nipan can be that guy if he stays. If he goes back to Rosenborg, fair enough, he's gonna develop his, his talents in Rosenborg for 1 more year. But if he stays at City, he can be that McAtee type super sub or a cup player, so he can improve under that as well. So I feel like it's a good signing for them. I don't personally watch the player that much. I haven't seen him that much. If I'm honest, I've if anything, I didn't even see him at all, to be honest. So I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, this is an amazing player or this is a bad player. It's just good that City are bringing in numbers because they need it. I felt like they fell off to the point that they were playing midfielders at right back. They consistently started playing Guardiola at left back when you rather want a traditional left back as a Manchester City. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't really have that. So yeah, they are doing good business and they are bringing in numbers.
Also for their academy team, if you notice, the past couple of years, they haven't really got any talents from their academy, so they needed to
No,
strengthen.
because they
their
sell
academy.
them all. They sell them
Yeah,
all, bro.
I mean, the last guy was Palmer, right? But this
Yeah.
guy Lewis didn't turn out to be a very
But
good
if you look
player.
at their academy as a whole, a lot of ballers right now that you see in today's different leagues are a lot of those players are from Manchester City's youth. They have been producing a lot of good youngsters. They have
But I mean, nobody came into
but
the
they are
scene
selling them.
as
They are selling them.
Foden, as Palmer. We haven't seen some Man City player from the academy.
I mean,
turned
I saw a
for quite
list,
some
and you
time
have
now.
I saw a list,
Mhm.
and you have a decent amount of good players. So, but they are just selling them. That's the difference. And now they are bringing in someone like Nipan, who can be an understudy to Reinders, be a partner to Turkey. You know what I'm saying? Because he's also pretty young. He's not the
But I think
oldest.
what
So,
Ash said, they will loan him out, right? If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
that's what they're planning to
if
do.
That's right.
they loan him out,
Mm.
fine. Go develop at Rosenborg for 1 more year.
Mm.
But if you don't, you at least have some decent
I don't think it's
midfielders
going to be
that you
Rosenberg.
can.
I don't think it's going to be Rosenberg.
I
He
don't know
just
which
said it.
club. I don't know.
Yeah,
I heard
no,
he
they
might be loaned out.
didn't state it. He just said
Oh,
he will be
it's going.
loaned out.
I remember now. It's going to be Girona, because I heard something about this.
Maybe.
They're going to send him to Girona for 1 year because that's their B club basically.
Mhm.
So, and then he's going to, yeah, I remember this. Now I remember this.
Can I
He's
ask
going
you
to
guys this?
Girona.
I asked this to Mo. Excuse me. I don't know what the hell happened.
صح.
I asked this question to Mo, and I'm gonna ask you guys. I think T might have been in the comments, so he might know what I'm gonna ask. Arsenal's starting midfield, Chelsea starting midfield, Liverpool's and Man City's, all of them at their best. So don't tell me, oh, form or whatever. Let's say all of them are at their best. Which midfield is the best? Which midfield is the worst?
The same
Against
question you asked
who did you say?
last week.
Did I ask you guys? Oh, fair.
Yes.
I didn't know I asked you guys. I said Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City. All midfields, like every midfielder is at their best form. So
I mean,
Odegaard at his
first
best,
of all,
Rice at his best.
what you said, what you guys said, you and Mo, it was, I believe, what you guys said about City having the worst out of the three was so.
I didn't say that. Mo did.
Mo said it? Okay, that's
yeah. I
bro.
said City at
You
second.
cannot say that when you have Rodri in
Yeah.
midfield, bro.
We even argued
Yeah,
that
you
cannot
if
say that.
Odegaard wasn't his best or not, if you recall. You said,
I mean,
Oh, maybe. Okay,
I will
fair.
I will give us a decent shout because Declan Rice, you know, said his offense is getting better
yeah.
with the years coming. So and Zubamendi, in my opinion, is one of the best midfielders. Saad and I had this conversations years ago about me.
But Sad is
before we
in Man
bought
City
Merino,
because
you
he
know what I'm
said he rates Rodri. He rates Rodri a lot, and that's why he.
Oh, I
says
forgot.
that-
I even asked the question. I have goldfish memory. But
Mm.
Souls,
I mean, yes.
I think
compare Zubamendi
I think-
and Rodri 1-on-1. Yes, Rodri gets the edge.
no,
because
but
he
I
is
think
the better
I
Rodri
think
is
Rodri.
supreme, man.
But
Really
my
thinks.
logic was any midfield that Rodri is in, that is a massive. That in itself is just massive. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That puts your
Yeah.
midfield up to an elite level already, just
Yeah.
with that one player, because of what
Yeah,
Rodri
he has
can
a
do.
weight on the scale. There's
Wait,
no doubt.
No,
I mean,
but
they
because,
had like
of what he
a
brings to the, because of what he brings to the game, where he's always there for the extra pass, so you'll never be in trouble of just getting pressed out of the game because he's always there, and his interceptions that he can also do, and the ability the way he can drive with the ball. Also, he's shooting outside the box sometimes, just mad.
Bro, he was their
Rodri
most
is one of
clutch
my
player.
favorite players, honestly.
When they won their Champions League, he was their most clutch player. This is not only defense or control. This is
Yeah.
also offense. This guy does everything. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So to say that a midfield with Rodri is the worst midfield, I just disagree with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's true.
Yeah,
And,
I don't think
Also,
they're the worst, but I do
yeah.
think our midfield, when everyone is in form, and all the other teams also have their midfielders in form, I generally think I'll put our midfield first. And I'm not even trying to be biased, I swear to God, because I think, well, I'm not even looking at Zubimendi. I'm looking at Partey still, because
So you're
obviously
not looking
Zubimendi's
at
got to be unknown.
Gravenberch, McAllister, and Verts.
I
also.
think Partey's best is equivalent or better than Gravenberch, but obviously Gravenberch is young, so he might overtake him in the future. I think Rice's best is better than any other 8 in the league, and Odegaard's best is up there with one of the best 10s in the world. His best. I'm talking about his best, not last season. So if all of them are at their best, I think our midfield has the best balance. You know, honestly,
Yeah.
I have City second, even though Mo made a very good point, and that is Shirky and Reinders best. You don't know if it translates to the Premier League, right? Because
Yes,
you have
yes.
to see them there. I think it might. I think it will. To be honest,
similarly-
You can say that
similarly
about
to
everyone,
Verts.
though. You
Yeah,
can say,
yeah.
"Oh, is Wirtz gonna translate to the Premier League?"
Yeah,
you know what I'm
but
saying?
the
You cannot
difference-
say that, though.
But the difference, look, I haven't. If you guys have watched Shirky enough, then fair enough. I've watched Verts enough to say he definitely will, because I can see the kind of quality he has that can easily be translated. Reinders, I don't know anything at all. The
Okay,
only time
I
I've watched
I
Reinders
watched Reinders, and I believe he
Netherlands.
fits City perfectly.
Yeah, there
You know
you
what I'm
go. Okay, so then all of them at their best, I'd probably put them second. Liverpool, I think they have the best 10 in the league, but as much as I rate McAllister and Gravenberch, I don't think they are as good as a combination of Rice, Partey, um, or Rodri and Reinders. I definitely think. I'm sorry, Elias. I'm sorry to all Chelsea fans. I think Chelsea's midfield is false. Not because they're bad; they're really good. I just don't rate Enzo Fernandez that much on the long term.
Here's the thing, but you guys, we mentioned something about City. That City now, if you recall, also that they will change the way they play, right? So they're not looking to have this possession-based football much more, where they're attacking left backs and attacking right backs. So they're kind of the midfield that they have right now, which is Rodri. And grinders, those two profiles are like grinders at the midfield, right? They will defend well. You can feel that security from the backside where they can expose more to the wings. So that's why.
But then our midfield has the same exact advantage.
I understand.
I feel like overall our defense in our midfield, overall our defense in our midfield is better. But the offense in City's midfield, I think, is better.
Yeah.
But I don't think Arteta will change. Like, he will still go with the inverting left back with Skelly or whoever. Or maybe
but
Timber
I'm talking about Pep. Arteta won't change.
That's what I mean, right? City's midfield.
No, but in fact, hold on. I have to
say make it about Arsenal, guys.
No, hold on. I'm not gonna make it. Because Tino is exactly what I was
because
say.
He went from beautiful attacking football to this terrorist football that we're watching.
No. But it's not even that. It's not even that. It's not even that. That's not what I was gonna say. What I was gonna say is, let's not act like Mikel Arteta not changing. He didn't get it from this freaking dark overlord, in Pep Guardiola. Because Pep Guardiola also does not change. He also does not change.
I mean, he is changing right now.
But Pep still Pep changes in the way he uses defenders. In the midfield never changes, bro. Midfield stays the same. All the people have similar jobs, if not the same job that they have to do, and he just moves them around.
But even if he does that,
not really, that's not true.
Reinders will fit their midfield either way because he can do both. You know what I'm saying? And football, Reinders is pretty consistent, bro. If not for Reinders, they wouldn't even go to the final for the cup, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's that pivotal for that AC Milan team, bro. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing, and it's not just that T. Like, to say Pep doesn't change midfield is such a lie because he's played with a 6 and 2 10s. He's played with a 6 and 2 8s.
He changes. But that doesn't mean he succeeds all the time. Yeah, I agree.
He has succeeded in all of them because he's won the leagues in all of them.
Still do similar roles, man. They still do similar roles.
How is it similar, bro? If you're playing Foden, KDB, and Rodri, they're not doing the same role as
but the player is probably a 10, but that's not the role that they're told to go out there and play, bro. They're not told to go out there and play.
Of course it is. What do you mean?
A 10
KDB
role.
and Foden, when they were playing, they were always attacking like crazy. But when they play Gundogan and Bernardo Silva, they drop deep to collect the ball a lot of times.
Also, you have to know that Guardiola is a structure-based coach. Like, he must have full control on the players' roles and what they do. He doesn't allow,
and that's why he's the best in the world because he's won
big up.
Big up to him. I'm not saying he's not the best
because he has a great track record.
And big up to him personally, and big up to him as a person as well, not just as a manager. If you know, you know.
Big up, man, for what he said about Palestine, bro. Big up, man.
Yeah, so Pep showed us year in year out that he changes his tactics, is the way that it doesn't mean that he succeeds all the time. Sometimes he puts himself into a pickle in many occasions, but
he has not the Champions League final because he didn't play a 6. So that's another
exactly. That's one of the moments that he fumbles, right?
You know what? Actually, I can't lie. I took a note there. Actually,
whatever Pep does,
I forgot about that. I forgot about that completely,
at the end
bro.
of the day,
actually,
he does some crazy shit, you know.
But listen, whatever Pep does at the end of the day, first of all, it is Pep Guardiola, and second of all,
oh my God,
when is the last time Pep had a bad season back to back? You know what I'm saying? Like 2 seasons in a row.
Never.
So,
did you see what he said?
I feel like City are going to be on a mission this season. You know what I'm saying? And they are going to, because let's be real, Liverpool are looking like a force to the point that people have them as their favorites. Obviously, because they bought Wirtz, they are buying Gyökeres, they bought Frimpong already. They are looking for more players. You know what I'm saying? I even read that they are looking at Osimhen today. So
And
I don't know if they
Etike as
will.
well.
Yeah, Ekitike as well. So at this moment in time, Liverpool are favorites, but I can see Pep turn these players that he is buying right now into the perfect mold of the players that he needs to make his system work again. You know what I'm saying? Because these players are actually very, very talented. And I
Yeah.
said this before and I'll say it again. The fact that these guys bought Turkey for 35 million, 30
It's a
plus
bargain.
5,
It's a bargain.
that's the most criminal thing I've ever seen in my life. This guy should have at least been 60 million. At least. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody can tell me that someone like Sesko is valued at 80 to 100 and someone like Sesko, or someone like Turkey is 30 to 35 million. That's the craziest thing I've heard in my life. And the thing is, the reason why people say, "Oh, he's cheap," is
Uh,
because his
mm.
personality. Just because,
No.
the
See,
reason they don't want
something.
Osimhen
It could be
is
something
because
in
of
the
his
contract. It
personality.
could be
Bro,
something in
this
the
whole
contract.
personality argument is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life, bro. Oh, his personality.
But what about
Personality
the
hype,
release
bro.
clause? It has a release
No,
clause, right? So
no,
you
France
have
does
to
not
pay.
have a release clause, bro.
How do you know that? Have you seen the contract?
Okay, Google it.
I said, how do you know that? Have you seen the contract?
He did not have a release clause because they rejected a few offers before. Why would you reject offers if it's a release clause for 30 million, bro? You know what I'm saying?
For
At
whatever
the end of the
reasons,
day,
maybe
at the end
they
of
had
the
an
day, they
agreement
had to
with the
pay
player.
more. At the end of the day, they had to pay more because there is no release clause in this contract. That shit was not true.
I don't know. I'm just saying it could be the clause there that
But
says, okay,
that's
if you
that's
pay up
what that's
to
what
30
that's what
mil.
I've heard. I heard France does not do release clauses. Yeah, and he didn't have a release clause, so that's why
He
City
was a
had to
gentleman.
That's a bold
negotiate.
statement, you know. So I have to
Apparently, it was a
actually
gentleman's agreement.
I have to
Apparently.
check it.
I mean,
It could be as well, right? It could
It
be a
could be a
gentleman agreement.
gentleman's agreement. Listen, we right now from what we know, gentlemen's agreements don't mean shit. Do you know what I mean? But
With Gyökeres, yeah,
in
man.
some
That's
cases,
Alright,
yes.
listen, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Do you know what I mean? But that's a whole.
Yeah.
By the way,
that's a whole
I
situation we need to break
I
down.
just checked it. T was right. There's no French league or the French Association does not allow release clauses in football contracts. So
Wow.
T was bang on.
So what they value him whatever
he
they
was spitting,
feel
bruv.
value is.
Jeez, yeah.
I told
My
you, bro.
guy, brother.
I
Look at
know.
him smiling.
I-
Look at him
it was-
smiling.
listen.
Look at him smiling. Fraud. This guy,
I'm
bro.
smiling because you're a fraud, bro.
Be
You're
humble,
guessing,
bro. Be humble,
you're
bro.
guessing something for
Even
nothing,
if I'm
bro.
gassing you, you should be humble, bro.
No,
Guy.
to be
I am,
fair,
I am
I
humble.
didn't know
I am
that.
humble. I'm more humble than you can understand. You know what I'm saying?
By the way,
Oh.
even though I think even though I think Wirtz is a different level from Shirky, but I rate Pep so high, I wouldn't be surprised if Pep gets Shirky to a world class level very soon. Because I think everything he does with midfielders and the way he helps them like create and develop and learn the other side of the game, which is off the ball movement, bro, he's gonna do wonders for this guy's career.
I mean, look what he did with Mahrez, bro. Mahrez was already good at Leicester, don't get me wrong. But he joined City and he made him a machine, bro. You know what I'm saying? He made him that mold of a player that was
Sterling
just
as well.
unplayable. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Sterling as
Yeah.
well. And Sterling, he didn't even utilize Sterling's pace and all that stuff as much. He made him score goals. You know what I'm saying? If Pep wants you to do something and you have the mental capabilities to follow what he's trying to do, you are going to succeed in football. It's that simple. You know what I'm saying? And all of these players, Ait Nouri, Reinders, and Turkey, what do these guys have in common? They have a strong mentality, bro. These guys are not
Correct.
your nice guys like Declan Rice is basically. You know what I'm saying? They're not. You know, so at the end of the day, they're doing good business, and I cannot slate them for it because they bought 3 amazing players and they're gonna buy more. So yeah, big up their board, I guess. That is actually doing business, unlike ours.
Yeah, man. It's just
The funny
It's
thing is,
sad.
bro, it'll only take 3 or 4 games. Once the first 3 or 4 games in the league are done, if City win all 3 or 4, I guarantee they instantly become favorites for the league. Because that's how scary this manager is. Like right now, people are like, "Oh, he has to adapt. The players have to adapt and stuff." If by the 4th or 5th game week, City are like at 100% record, everyone is going to switch their minds to City are favorites. Because our only question mark right now is Reinders and Shirky. How will they adapt? It's not a
But
question mark.
I think actually it also depends on
Pep
what
or-
teams they will face on that first 4 or 5 matches, right?
Yeah, but you know how it is. It doesn't matter. Even if they face like the bottom well, we don't know who's going to be bottom, but like the worst 5 teams in the league, if they win comfortably the first 5 games, people will react that way. And the reality is, Sami, I think with a team like City, remember, it is even if they play against like relegated level teams in the Premier League, that momentum and confidence actually matters to them because it carries on.
We've seen City go on crazy runs. Don't get me wrong. Nobody's.
Exactly. It carries on to big teams as well.
Yeah.
Unlike
we haven't
and
seen City
actually
go from the beginning until the end, right? If they always have this kind of runs and then some sort of drop and then again back to
they
running.
do have a dip every season, but every team does, to be honest. Like Liverpool had it last season, and we just were not good enough to capitalize. That's all.
And we're not saying they're Galacticos, but Pep does have a track record of bringing players from worse leagues and actually improving them. It is true, bro, because he won a league with Gabriel Jesus, bro, and that guy came from Brazil. You cannot tell me that he cannot win a league with these players. You know what I'm saying? That's
100%.
This is not true.
And even their defense, people talk about their defense. I don't think their defense is as bad as people make it seem. I think the reason why their defense got exposed, well, they had players like Kyle Walker and all who should have gone ages ago, but their midfield also allowed their defenders to get exposed because Kovacic, Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, that's a weak, light midfield when it comes to defending.
They don't have
legs. Exactly. If you look at their defenders, Ait Nouri, now they've got a new left back in Ait Nouri. Gvardiol is young and one of the best, like fantastic in the league. Nathan Ake is still at a good age. John Stones is not like he's 35, 36. He's 31, I think, if I'm not wrong. Ruben Diaz is still good. Akanji is still good. So they don't have bad defenders. If they just
Ruben Diaz get worse, though. I feel like he did get worse.
I think all of them dipped. Akanji as well dipped. Not only
I feel that was a result of the team being bad. But these guys aren't old. If they're like 35, 33, I understand. Maybe their legs are gone. Like KDB being bad last season wasn't surprising because, bro, he's 33 or 34. He's done. But Akanji is still at a young age. Even Nathan Ake is not that old. He's 29 or 30, I think, if I'm not wrong now.
Nathan Ake is good, but the older ones like Ruben Diaz and
but Diaz
Akanji,
isn't old. Diaz isn't old.
Isn't he 30 plus already, bro?
Is he? Oh my god, I didn't know.
I thought he was 25, 26.
Let me look.
Bro, he's 28. He's 28.
Yeah, he's pushing 30. He's pushing.
No, come on.
Yeah, but for centre back.
The funny thing is, I just
listen, Akanji is 29.
What about Van Dijk?
Akanji is 29.
Come on, man.
You know
okay, but 29 is not bad for a defender.
Look at Van Dijk.
No, one sec. Ruben Diaz turned 28 last month, so he was 27 all this while. This guy's like he's pushing 30.
And Akanji is going to and listen, Akanji is going to turn 30 in the 17th of July. So hold that. You know, so you're a fraud.
Yes, but as a defender, in my opinion, up until the age of 32, I think you can play at the highest level. Some defenders actually get better at 30, 31.
Yeah.
But
I agree with this. I agree with this.
33, 34, I get it.
Bro, once you hit 30 as a defender, bro, that's prime years, bro.
Okay,
that's prime years.
Because
that's when your mind is the best.
There's also situations where if you push 30 and you are around 30 or you are 30, you get worse in what you do because you lose pace, you lose sharpness. It's that simple, bro. Those things happen as well. And I feel like Ruben Diaz is sleeping way more. And you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to say, yeah?
Yeah.
He's just way more.
So you're saying he's a bad defender? Like as
I think
player.
he got worse. Yeah, he's not one of the best.
I genuinely think that's because of the midfield. I don't think.
But I agree with you because we're talking about covering the basics in a defender, right? Which is interceptions, locking up players.
But Sami, when your whole team, we've seen this with all the teams.
Akanji is bad, man.
We've seen this with all the teams when your whole team is in bad form and everyone's heads are down after certain games. Or
so you're saying it's a matter of confidence? Is that what you're?
Yeah, I mean Chelsea.
No. I disagree with that.
Defense.
I disagree with that, bro.
One sec.
I disagree too, but I just want to hear his logic. Yeah,
I'll give you evidence. Chelsea in 2015 when they won the league, the next season. It wasn't that the defenders were bad, which is why they were conceding goals and they were getting humiliated left, right, and center. They were just going through a bad rut. The whole team was in the dumps. They fought with Mourinho. All that kind of stuff happened. Next season, they won the league with the same back three or the same defenders. Cahill was there. Aspilicueta. Obviously, they added most of them.
What's a Cahill, bro?
Thiago Silva, I think, right?
Yeah, whatever. No. Thiago Silva came way later. It was It was Cahill, Gary Cahill.
It was Aspilicueta. It was Cahill and David Luiz was still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so exactly. It wasn't that the defenders suddenly got bad. And again, if you
mean,
look at these guys,
David Luiz did turn into a bozo eventually. So
but 2017 he was good though when they
I
won.
can't lie. That last year of David Luiz for us, right? Listen, man.
Actually, it was good.
I
yeah.
can't lie.
That
He
was
was
a
cooking
good
for us, bro. This
That
guy
season
left
was-
it for the last year. And David Luiz decided, you know what? Let me just turn back to the old me and
Just
let
to
me
get
just
the
do a
contract.
Vaseline, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? Let me just do a Vaseline. Ash, this is why I disagree with you. Yeah, is that
because you're a fraud.
our defenders? Yeah, I'm a fraud, of course. But
No, I was
our
just fraud.
defenders. Oh yeah, he's a fraud.
Yeah, I realized it's
But-
Gary
Odd-
Cahill. I don't know why I said Cahill.
Kyle.
I like it, bro. I like it, bro.
I said it like an Arab.
Yeah, wallahi, I like it, bro. Kahal. Yalla. When it,
Kahal
no,
party.
this is the reason why I disagree with you is because I look at our defenders, and if we're talking about good defenders, say our defenders are good. Our defenders are great. Do you know what I mean? They're some of the best defenders in the world. If you're trying to reach that level, even when we're having a bad game, even when the team is dropped their heads, the attack can't score, the midfield's falling apart. But even then, Saliba's making last-minute ditch tackles and being able to save us in games where teams should score against us. Gabriel is able to make tackles to stop teams from scoring. Yes, Saliba and Gabriel on occasion might falter. But last season, Diaz faltered a lot, bro. He looked like he was falling apart, bro. He looked like he was falling apart. And to be honest, as the leader of that team, or as the leader of that back four, bro, you're not supposed to fall apart like that. And you don't see that even from Gabriel or Saliba. You don't see that from Virgil van Dijk. Konate has had his.
To be honest, I disagree with Saliba because Saliba towards the last 3 months of the season was having howlers.
That's fine. Leave it with Saliba. No, leave Saliba out of it then. Take Saliba out of it. But Gabriel and Van Dijk, that's the top level.
And they had Guardiola, the first 6 games, the first 10 games of the season was without anyone's
he was scoring goals, He was scoring goals, bro. He was scoring goals,
he was also defending fine. My issue was sad. When they concede 4 against Spurs, 5 against Arsenal, and they're getting ripped open every single game, that isn't defenders. That's the fact that the midfield, bro. I saw. Look at
this guy all emotional, bro. It's okay, broski. Don't worry. It's not my fault that you ain't got a better centre back than none of my centre backs. Do you know what I mean? It's not my fault, bro. That none of your centre backs can touch, man.
All I'm saying is, if we had a midfield of Kovacic, Gundogan, and Bernardo Silva last season, we would have conceded at least 20, 30 more goals. That's the reality. Our defenders, the few times our defenders got tested in transition, we conceded. Newcastle at St. James Park, West Ham in that counter-attack, we immediately conceded. Fulham, the only attack they had all game, they ended up scoring from it. So you can make that argument, but we control possession.
Fulham, which Fulham game? Away.
The 1-1. Yeah, the 1-1. Yeah, has given Victor Gyokeres the assurance that he will be allowed to leave in the summer for 60 to 70 million.
Listen, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
That's a journalist.
He literally posted this when we went live at 9.
Yeah.
8.
So Ash saying that's a journalist.
Let's let it go, sir. Don't bite everything.
When Ash, no, I will bite 100%. I'm biting. Okay, but the thing is, he's saying this is a journalist. Like, this guy didn't say something about Florian Wirtz. Like this guy didn't say something about Florian Wirtz. Florian Wirtz said, "What the hell is this guy talking about, bro? That's not true. I don't want no number 10, no nothing, bro. Please, bro. This guy, bro. We already know that he's been waffling, bro.
Who puts his name, unlike the hand of Ozil or Ostel or Odegaard or whatever the hell name he has this time, right? That puts a freaking logo Martin. And it's like, oh, I'm a bro. ITKs.
Big up Martin. Listen, big up to you, bro. Do you know what I mean? My bad.
Yeah,
next time I'll give you.
We are already glazing City for half an hour.
Next time, yeah. Well, we've been glazing your club for half an hour, bro. Do you know what I mean? We've been glazing your club for half an hour. But listen, City are gonna big up to Martin. By the way, subscribe to the Mancunian and wait, please, mods, bro. Can you put Martin's you know what I mean, in the description, bro, please, in the chat.
Yeah, YouTube
link. Just put his YouTube link in the description, please. I beg, because you know what I mean. If there are any mods here, if there aren't, then I'm gonna have to make a mod real quick. But
there are mods.
Yeah, if there is a mod in here, I don't know. Normally Aaron is in here, or normally like Soreda or somebody is in
Or
here.
FK, yeah.
FK or
Oh
somebody.
damn!
you know what I
Actually,
mean?
there are no mods. Maybe make Ali
you
a
know.
mod. Although Ali chats a lot of shit, to be honest.
Nah, Ali is fraudulent, bro. Ali is fraudulent.
Ali's
And by the way,
oh,
Ali
Elias,
does bring
Elias
up
should be
a
mod.
very good Eli. Yeah, no, I will make Elias a mod.
Elias has to be a mod, bro.
I will make him a mod right now, actually. And Ali A brings up a very good point, bro. Souls hasn't said a word, mate. He didn't even. When I
he's
said hello
awfully
to him,
silent.
when I said hello to him, he didn't even say hello back, bro.
But I think that's
wait,
what
wait,
his
wait,
stream
wait,
was really
wait,
good.
wait,
You know?
wait,
My bad, guys.
There was a comment about Souls. There was a comment about Souls. I think Lutfan put it where he said, Souls is silent. He'll only speak if someone talks about Arteta. I was like, bro, that is true. If we start shitting on Arteta right now, this guy's gonna put the white mic in his mouth. He's like, oh, one second.
What are you talking about, my manager? What are you talking about, my manager?
Tell me which manager.
That's my manager right there.
I saw you have to do that now, real quick.
Second in the league.
Let me land.
Let me land.
You can, first of all, you cannot blame Arteta for everything, okay? Because Arteta is not. Okay.
I love
That's
Souls.
fine. That's
Big up.
fine. But what I'm trying to say, Arteta, bro, this guy.
Yeah,
Come on,
big up,
Souls. Zaki.
yeah, big up the panel, man. Yeah, I'm here, man. I've just been listening to everything you guys have been saying. So yeah, man. Yeah. Big up.
Okay, so answer the question before we move to the next topic. All the midfields at their best form. Every player is in their best form. Which midfield is the best? Which midfield is the weakest? From those four teams I mentioned.
If they all get their projected signings, or as it is as of today.
No, as it is right now. So Partey, Rice, Odegaard, Enzo, Caicedo, Palmer, Wirtz, McAllister, Gravenberch, and Reinders, Shirky, and Rodri.
Or Zubamendi. You can also pick Zubamendi, okay?
No. Let's leave Zubamendi. To be honest, I wouldn't start Zubamendi in the beginning. I would wait a couple of games. I'd still start.
No, but it's Souls' preference, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair. So because I don't know how Shirky is gonna be. As I said, I agree with Ash that again Guardiola could do wonders with him next season. But based on what I know of the player today, I don't know if he can fill those De Bruyne boots. And I think you need a very good 10 to be able to have the best midfield. So I wouldn't put City there yet. I'd say with Zubamendi and with Wirtz, it's going to be one of Liverpool or Arsenal. I'd say overall, I'll just edge it to Liverpool. Only because Florian Wirtz is proven. And I've watched Wirtz. And I think Gravenberch, McAllister, I think we definitely... We definitely have the better. We definitely have the better six if Zubamendi joins. But overall, in terms of balanced out midfield, I just feel like with Odegaard's last season, how he was last season,
Wait.
Yeah,
Stop.
he's assuming everybody.
That's why I said assuming everyone is at their best. So let's say Odegaard is at his best. That's why I said every player at their best. The best you've ever seen them play.
15 goals, 10 assists, Odegaard. You know what I'm saying?
I'm still gonna edge it to Liverpool.
Fair.
Only because of Wirtz, literally. Because I think
I think pivot.
I just think if Wirtz, go on.
I just think there's no better pivot in the league than Declan Rice and Partey combined.
Yeah, I agree.
Or
Zubamendi. In terms of the pivot in midfield, I think we have the better. But overall, because if Wirtz does what I think he will do, it's long for the league. But again, we don't know that yet because we've seen players come from the Bundesliga.
But what if Zubamendi does what we expect him to do?
No, I agree. But Wirtz, but the only thing I'm saying, TK, is that Wirtz's output, right? Wirtz's output is going to be scary. And definitely. I think the output and efficiency is going to speak numbers for itself. And I think, again, he may not do what I think he's going to do, but Ashraf's saying at his best. And Wirtz at his best, when I've seen him play at his best, is untouchable in that 10
He's untouchable.
I agree. One of the best
agree.
in the world. So, again, it's not to say he will do it in the league, but as on their best right now, and as Ash said, we'll find out in the first 3-4 games. We'll understand how things are gelling. And we'll see. But yeah, I'd say I'd edge it slightly to to Liverpool.
I mean, this could be a segue to Liverpool, Sat.
Yeah, sorry. What I'm
but Saad is sleeping.
1 second. Can you shut your dirty?
By the way, Maculian Way is saying like you're gonna sell 5 or 6 players. Do you really think you'd sell all those players this summer? I feel like you will keep some as experience. I don't think they'll let go of Gundogan, Bernardo, all these guys like in one window,
I mean,
and also the
you,
wingers.
you can
you
let
get it-
go of Gundogan. You can let go of
No,
Gundogan.
no,
if
no,
you
no.
want,
I
you know
agree
what
they
I'm saying?
will, but I'm saying they won't let go of 3 or 4 at the same time. So they
No,
won't let
look,
go of
look,
Kovacic,
look. They
Bernardo,
said
and Gundogan at the same
they're
time.
taking. They said they're getting rid of McAllister, McAtee, Grealish,
McCarthy.
Stones, or Akanji. Stones, I think, is gonna go. I think Akanji will stay.
Yeah, I
Actually,
think I
Stones.
think
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
Grealish,
Akanji will stay.
I think
maybe
obviously
Edison.
obviously Tottenham are close to agreeing a deal with Grealish as well. They submitted a 40 million bid. I think City are
What an average player! It's crazy.
entertaining the offer. So
Wait, who's going? Who's going to? Who's going? Jack Grealish? Where?
Grealish.
Grealish to
Spurs.
Spurs. Fabrizio said he made.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. Oh my god, that is disgusting, bro.
Bro,
That is
they,
disgusting.
I
they will get
Where's the meme, bro?
Mbemo.
Where's
Brother, what's that?
bro? Is that real? Is Spurs actually going?
Ali saying that was a
Rumours at the
fake
moment,
account.
yeah, it's not confirmed. It's just rumors what I'm hearing. But my Spurs friends are saying that they take him. Really and truly.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Mancunian way, I genuinely feel. I genuinely feel you're hoping a bit because look, I think your team is gonna compete for sure. You're not gonna get rid of Doku after like 2 seasons. I really doubt it. I think your wingers, I could be wrong, but I think your wingers might be set. I think you have Doku, Savio, Marmoush, maybe Foden might play there. I don't know if
Marmoush will play centrally. He will play centrally.
No, won't he play on the left?
He'll play
on the left, bro.
And who's the kid? Who's the kid they have? The Brazilian or Argentinian? I can't remember.
Savinho?
Argentinian.
Oh, the new signing. What was his name, bro? He's the new signing, right?
Man, that Argentinian kid they were raving
from
about.
River Plate. From River.
Yeah.
Right?
Didn't he sign for Madrid?
Echeverri. No, that's Franco Mastrotano.
No.
This is Echeverri, yeah. So let's see if you think you'll sign all those players, then fair.
Yeah, listen.
I mean,
hopefully they don't,
bro. They bought already enough first team players. Bro.
Yeah,
they can't afford to get these
please,
youngsters. They can. You know what
let
I'm
us live, bro. Let someone else have their go at the market, bro. Do you know what I mean? But listen.
Yes, and sell Gundogan to Galatasaray, please. Thank you.
Speaking of Liverpool, I mean, to be honest, we weren't really going to talk about Liverpool. I'll be real. All there is for Liverpool is here we go. For,
there's nothing new.
Florian Wirtz. All there is for Liverpool is here we go for Florian Wirtz, bro. Do you know what I mean? By the way, guys, Bomba on Ahwa. Bomba is going to be dropped by yours truly here. Yeah. Question time on Ahwa. Question time for certain frauds on that panel. Yeah.
What question?
By yours truly here, guys. Tune in.
Ask us the question because we can.
No.
If it's an embarrassing question, we can save your face right now.
After your track record, your IT case,
after a track record,
I will show you guys after. I will show you guys after, and you guys are gonna be like, "What the hell?
What
Where did you find this?
Did you shake Berta's hand? Did he not when you said Gyökeres? Is that what happened?
Mate, listen. No. It's nothing to do with Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? It's another club. But listen, guys, focus. Get there tomorrow, mate. Be there early for hour. It's gonna be a good one. Anyway, I can't lie. No, it's gonna be happening tomorrow. I think it's still happening. It's gonna be happening tomorrow because I think Sam has to go pick up his brother. So, I think it will be happening tomorrow, guys. Ahwa. But listen, we're not gonna speak about Liverpool. Let's just speak about who are we gonna go to? I want to speak about Newcastle because that Joao Pedro move is actually I really think that these Newcastle guys are just flying under the radar. Yeah, people are not realizing like these guys are trying to set up certain buys. Do you know what I mean? I think they were looking at Mbeumo, but obviously that's gone now. But they're bringing in Joao Pedro. They're trying to strengthen that attack. They still need to go in for a right winger. But I think they get a decent right winger. They're able to keep a hold of Gordon. Isak is going nowhere. Bruno Gyokeres and Joelinton, Antonali in the midfield. Bro, I think these guys could be cooking. All they need to do now, I think they'll be in the race for Gehi as well. even though we are technically as well. But they're going to be in a race for Gahey, bro. I think Newcastle could be a problem, guys, next season. By the way, I don't even know when I started that.
To us, at least, you know what I'm saying? They already are.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about they could be a problem to other teams now. Do you know what I mean? I think they really could be a problem to other teams just because of how they're moving at the moment. They're very strategic in what they're doing. They're buying certain players. I'm not sure if they're I'm not sure if they're on the PSR thing. I don't know if they have to sell. I think the only team that I've heard is on the PSR thing is Aston Villa. It's the only one. And that Morgan Rogers thing is way too expensive for anybody to buy. Ain't nobody buying Morgan Rogers for what they want. They want like 90
I
mil.
would. Not for that money, but I would.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, I'd go and get him, but not for the money that they're trying to get. Freaking 80, 90 mil. Are you skunked out your damn skull? Like, what is this, bro?
Okay.
We're not signing.
Is he worth 80 million if you can go and put 80 million on the table right now and you can buy him khalas? Is he worth that or not? Is my question.
I don't think so. And the reason why is because that's not the main thing that we're trying to strengthen. For me personally. If it's for Arsenal, that's not the main thing that I need to strengthen.
But that wasn't the question. The question is he valued to 80 mil, right? So
okay, if the question is regardless of this and that,
if you could get him tomorrow for 80 mil, would you do it?
I still
wait.
think
Who are you guys talking about?
I'd say
or Pedro.
Morgan Rogers. I would say 60 million around that area, because he's got the Champions League. He's played in the Champions League now, so you know what I mean. He's got that experience, but it's still a risk, bro. I feel like all of 80 million, and 90 million. This is all inflation. If I'm looking at that player, I'm saying at most it's 60 million at the moment. Is the most I'd pay for him if I was going to the table.
And honestly, I don't think he's a priority for us right now. We have to get the left winger and striker.
But that's what he wasn't asking. He wasn't asking that. What his original question was, if you have 80 million on the table right now, and spend, would you spend that on Morgan Rogers?
And by the way,
I want to go that high.
To go back
to
your thing,
me personally, Rogers is one of my main targets that we should go.
Big up Sunshine, by the way.
But
I want
to ask you too, who you want to remove from Arsenal midfield and get in Rogers?
I don't think you want answers to some of your questions.
He wants to say Odegaard. He'll say Odegaard.
Odegaard. So you're gonna go with Odegaard, Rice, and Zubamendi. Rogers. Rogers,
Rice, and Zubamendi.
Yeah,
that's what he wants.
That's what I would do. You know
so you want to play Rogers as a 10?
Bro, I don't think you understand.
I think he plays very well as a 10.
But this guy had 30 GA last season as a midfielder. What are we doing here, bro? Put him at our number 10. Look at what he does, bro. 14 assists, 15 goals. Like, what are we doing? That's better than Odegaard's best season for us, bro. Like,
so I still want to see more. I still want to see more.
But this is a one season thing.
I remember. Yeah, exactly. I remember Dele Alli had a season like that, and look at him, Dele Alli now. I know he might not be Dele.
Now you are doing the whole extremes again, bro.
No, wait.
The facts are it's still one season only.
Okay, but don't you guys agree? Because I am from the mindset of I want to challenge my players. I do not want players to be comfortable, because sometimes when they are comfortable, they underperform. And if you bring someone in like Rogers, who can play multiple positions, including left wing, by the way, not only midfield, he can also slot in the left wing if you want. He can challenge multiple fronts, and I feel like Rogers would be a perfect fit. Why buy Zubamendi if you can buy someone like Rogers? Is my opinion. I feel like we need more of an attacking midfielder.
Don't you think you should invest on Nwaneri better than Rogers?
I mean, yes, but is Arteta going to do that, bro?
If we get Rodrigo not only plays.
We're talking about a 10, right? So that's where
But Ashraf, I'm not saying by buying Rogers we should not buy a winger. We should still buy a winger.
Of course,
we bought Zubamendi to replace Jorginho, but I feel like we needed more of attacking midfielders like City did with Cherki and Reinders. If we bought any of those two, that would have been better for us, in my opinion, because of the
but
profile.
the difference is,
you know what I'm saying?
The difference is City lost a 10. They have to get another 10, which is why they got Shirky. We don't have that. Now,
Yeah,
I
but
agree.
we
I
lack in
understand-
attacking, though. We need
No,
more
I
attacking.
understand your skepticism. I understand your skepticism because you don't think Odegaard could come back to that form, which is fine. I completely hear that.
No, but
But
not
for
only
me-
Odegaard. I feel like our attacking is weak overall. We just need better attacking players, is my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
I think we
that's
need
my
them in the
overarching
attack,
opinion.
not in the not. I think we need them in the attack, not in the midfield, because Rice, Moreno, and Odegaard, they get a lot of GA. Again, Odegaard at his best. I'm not talking about Odegaard of last season. I think where we really lack at every single time that's better than the last 2 seasons has been the left wing and the striker. The only one who's given us some sort of consistency in left wing in moments was Trossard. So he'd give you 2 very good months here,
Big up.
2 very good months here. And he did it last season and the season before, but that's obviously not good enough. We need, if you get someone like Rodrigo and a proper striker, let's say Gyokeres, Rodrigo now fixes the left wing and the 10, because if Odegaard drops stinkers, we can now play. It seems like Trossard and Martinelli are going nowhere. I could be wrong. But in that scenario, you could one day play Rodrigo as the 10 and play one of these 2 as a left winger. For me, Zubimendi is an absolute must if we're losing. Not if we're losing. We did lose Jorginho. Because in my opinion, I know Partey played all season, but we cannot rely on him having the legs again this season. The reality is we might have got slightly lucky because
But you know what it is, Ashraf? My thing is, though, we lost ESR and Fabio Vieira, unironically. Yes, I am going to name him because he was an attacking option for us. We lost both of those players and we didn't replace them. We only have Ethan, and Arteta didn't even play him that much at the 10. He played him more right wing, bro. When Saka was injured,
that's an issue. That's an issue. That's an issue.
Yeah.
He needs to start
my thing
playing.
is, if you bring in Rodgers, you tackle multiple fronts. Multiple fronts.
Maybe, but the thing is,
with Zubimendi, you only tackle the Jorginho part. But with Rodgers, you tackle the 10, you tackle the wing, you tackle multiple fronts, bro. You tackle the 8 because he also can play 8 and, you know what I'm saying, bring the ball up front. You know what I'm saying? He can do all those things, bro. I feel like, okay, maybe there is a situation where I just really like Rodgers as a player and you guys don't like him as much and don't rate him as much as I do.
No, I like him. I just want to see more because for me, one season could always be a one-season wonder. I don't think that's the case, but it can be because I've seen it before.
Yes.
That's why I want to wait. And the reality. Sorry, go ahead, Sammy.
No, it's like
I was just gonna say. I was just gonna end it with, even from a money perspective, I don't think it'll be logical for us to go spend 50 on Zubimendi and 70 or 80 on Rodgers and another 80 on Rodrigo and another 70, 80 on the striker. It's not going to work.
I wish we would, bro.
Where our priorities is striker and the winger, not the midfield or even the versatility that he offers is fine. He's versatile. I agree with you. He's versatile, but I don't think that's what we need right now. And you will not put 80 mil.
I mean, if our budget is 300, Rodgers could fit in that 300.
How do you know it's 300, man? We're barely getting. I think it's the vicinity of 200.
I'm saying if, okay?
But it's not. We don't have the money.
If it's around 200, it won't be enough because we need multiple fronts. We don't need only striker and left wing. We need more than that, bro.
I think that's the priority.
If we get,
I'll be real with you, T.
Priority, but
the thing is, I think what I think they're gonna do. Obviously, we're going into Arsenal now, which is just a whole nother thing. I actually wanted to speak about Newcastle, which I wanted you guys to speak about.
Okay. Let's get back to that because
because let me just get the thing back so I can say back to Newcastle now. 53. What did you do?
This is why we should never start with the Arsenal section, bro, because we always talk about these stuff, bro.
On the Joao Pedro thing, I think for Newcastle it's an amazing move because he's a massive upgrade on Callum Wilson, but I don't think it's a good move for him because the reality is he's always going to play second fiddle behind Isak. They're not going to play a lot of games where he plays 2 strikers up top, and I don't think Isak
played in the left wing
will want to play
or the right wing.
Why would he want to play there? He's not a left winger. He's gonna have to.
What if he plays in the 10? What if they play him as a 10?
Why would they play him in the 10 when they have 3 very, very, very good midfielders?
No, but if they want to move around the midfield, they want to rest players in the midfield, they can play him. He might get chances there.
But think about it from Pedro's side now. From Pedro's side, he can go to lots of other clubs where he starts 95, 99% of the games as a main striker, which is his actual position. And don't forget, this is a World Cup year. And their strikers in Brazil are Richarlison. He started one of the last games against whatever.
Yeah, but Ash, I don't think you're looking at it logically, though. I don't think you're looking at it logically.
I actually am.
Because
That is
look
possible.
no, but look at what he's going for. He's going for Champions League. He's going to get eyes on him when he does play, bro. Do you know what I mean? If he does play and he does look good, but you just simply can't compete with Isak because Isak is an amazing freaking striker, one of the best.
Yeah.
Then at least you're still getting eyes on you, and if people see that you're good, they might be willing to put money down to bring you.
That's not true because that's not true because right now, if he stays in Brighton one more season and plays as a striker, he has a much better chance of getting into the Brazil team than playing as a 10 in Newcastle or a left winger because they're not going to take him.
Yes, I agree. He should have gone Liverpool. He
Yeah,
shouldn't have gone to Chelsea.
100%.
If he goes to Chelsea, he'd get wasted there.
I 100% agree. He should be if he goes to Liverpool.
He would start for Chelsea as well, though. So
he probably does start.
Yeah, but with the strikers that they're getting, Liam Delap.
I'll tell you where he should go.
I Joao Pedro is better than Delap, bro. Let's be real. He's a better
100%.
player
He's
than
better.
Delap, right?
Can I tell you guys where he should go? He should go to Villa. Villa, he 100% starts every game.
I
know they're in the Europa League, but it doesn't matter. He's gonna get games and he's gonna play his position. And worst case scenario, Emery has shown he can play two strikers because he's done that before a couple of times with Watkins and Duran.
Yeah,
So
but they never replaced Duran, and Watkins is in a downwards trajectory, so that would be the perfect fit for him. So
amazing.
Yeah, I
move.
agree.
Honestly, guys, if we don't get Gyökeres or Sesko, I definitely want Gyökeres. I would rather Pedro over Sesko. I'm not gonna lie, I swear to God. I would rather Pedro over Sesko.
No, I don't think he's that good, though. You know what I'm saying?
He's better than Sesko.
You know what I'm saying?
He's better than Sesko, though. He's better than Sesko.
Yes,
I've never agreed.
The bar is pretty low on that one, Ashraf. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think I think he can. I think he can become world class. I just think he needs 3 years of consistently.
But Ashraf, but as the Bundesliga enthusiast yourself,
yeah, bro. Like how
he's better than Sesko, yeah.
But you agree with me that Sesko is just way too overrated by the people right now on the internet? Because people are really gassing him a lot and showing some highlights here and there, but they're always showing the same goals. You know what I'm saying? I do not see different goals. It's always the same goals that I'm seeing in
Barcelona.
That's not what you lot are doing. That's not what you lot are doing. Don't be fraudulent pieces of work. That's not what you lot are doing.
What I'm trying.
No, T. The way you're wording it, T. You should be. You're a man of words, bro. You're a man of. The way you word things is very, very funny, bro. Because you're wording things like as if. Do you know what I mean? We agree with you. Everybody on this panel agrees with you that everybody is overrating him too much. People are overrating this guy a bit too much, bro. Acting like he's like gonna come in and slap it, bro. Where me, Souls, I'm not sure whether Sammy agrees with me and Souls, but where me and Souls come from, and obviously I'll speak for you, Souls, real quick, and just tell me if I'm wrong. Yes, I don't think he's the greatest striker. Yes, I don't think I think he is being overhyped, but I don't think he's shit the way you say. I don't think he's shit the way Ash says and the way Hussam says. And these men talk about him like he's a shit player, like he has no fundamentals to be a good striker. Yeah, that's my issue.
Yeah, I think just to add on to that, I think I've always said like I don't feel like Sesko is the right man for us, especially because I agree. As per my expectations and target, I obviously want him to win next season. And I feel like as a prolific goal scorer, someone that can come in and score 25 in a season, Sesko is not that player. Now, based on what I've seen, I have looked and studied a lot of his talent ID and looked at his attributes as a player. Obviously, he's not at the level that he needs to be yet for him to be a starting striker in a Premier League challenging team. But I feel like his talent ID is very good. I feel like he's tall, he's quick, his aerial ability is quite good. He's shown that he's good in the air. He's shown that he's very fast for his height. And he's shown that his close control in the box is very good. And I feel like you can't take away his attributes as a player. So I feel like saying he's shit, for me, shit is a generic term anyway. You can't really quantify shit, but everyone's got a different opinion on shit. But for me,
it's just an easy way to say you don't like the player.
Exactly. But I think that the attributes that I've seen of Sesko, I think he will end up becoming a top striker in the future. I just don't feel like he's what Arsenal need to go into next season as a team ready to challenge for a title, bringing in someone that can score 25, 30 goals in a season. He's not that player.
But
regardless
Souls, can
of
I
what he
ask
has
you seriously though? Seriously, what attributes? Because I can
I
name
just
you
told
right
you.
now.
Bro,
I
he
just
named
told
his
you.
aerial ability 3 times or something.
No,
He
no.
said
So
aerial this, his heading and his jumping. You know what I'm
No.
saying?
He
Everything
said,
was.
no.
I was like, what?
He said,
Okay.
you didn't
Yeah,
listen. These are
yeah.
they don't
The only
listen,
different,
okay.
bro.
I'm
the
not
only
today.
different
He
thing
didn't
he
listen,
said
It's
was
okay. It's
bro.
from
okay.
close control in the box.
Yeah,
Okay, I
it's
get
okay.
it.
Bro,
It's okay.
not your
TK,
phone.
TK, it's okay.
I didn't hear it, bro.
I promise you, I'm not biting today. It's okay. I'll
No,
repeat them anyway.
I'm not
So
trying to
I'm
make you
saying,
bite. What are you saying,
no,
bro? I'm
it's
just.
fine. I'm just saying for his height,
Ya Allah.
he's very quick. Okay, pace is a very good attribute that I like for my strikers. That can't be argued. That's a fact. Okay. Number two, his aerial ability is very good. He's shown in the Bundesliga that he can score headers, and he's
But
also
his
very
first
good
touch
in
is
the air.
awful, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of his downsides. But I don't feel like I feel like Gyokeres' first touch isn't the best either in my opinion. But anyway, I'm just saying his ability to head the ball is very good. He's fast for his height, and his close control in the box. When I've seen him receive the ball, and there's a defender there, he's very good at cutting in and doing something with that ball. Okay, so these are important attributes that I like for my striker. So I like his attributes, but his numbers speak for themselves. Now now I can say that he's not good enough to be a starting striker because of his goal scoring numbers, but I can look at his talent ID and say he's got these metrics that are good for a striker. Close control in the box is a very good metric for me. If you can receive the ball and there's two defenders next to you, and you're good enough to dribble
But
past
lots of
them.
strikers
Or,
do that.
yeah, I know.
You know what it is, Souls?
Ash,
What
I'm
I'm
not saying
trying to
other
say.
strikers don't do that. I'm just saying
Okay.
these things he has in his capabilities as a striker. He's not fully developed yet, so I don't want him. But there's a difference between what I'm saying and what I'm seeing other fans say. Not necessarily YouTube. I'm seeing other fans saying he's shit and this that and this that. Like, for me, that's just harsh. It's harsh for a
You know
player.
what the argument is, Souls?
It's harsh for a player that's been linked with most top clubs in Europe. But anyway,
But you know what it is. It's for me. It's the one thing, and Ashraf and Saad, I've said this 1,000 times to you both specifically. The most important thing a player can bring to your team is consistency at the end of the day. That's why we like Rice. We call him Mr. Consistent, Mr. 7 out of 10 every game, minimum. You know what I'm saying? He should be the captain. He's this, he's that. We say that. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, consistency is important. Why? I'll give you a beautiful example. Yeah. Leroy Sané is 29 years old. So normally you could say he maybe has 1, maybe 2 year left at the top. Yeah, that's why we wanted him at Arsenal. We thought we could have used him. You know what I'm saying? But Bayern fans are sitting here celebrating that he left. And we look at the things that he does good, like his goals, for example, like some of his assists, and say, that looks amazing. You know what I'm saying? But Bayern fans say, no, he disappears in big games. He's not consistent. He lacks in numbers when it comes to big games. You know what I'm saying? He only scores in small games. They can see the context and the bigger picture of that specific player. And me, as a guy who watches Bundesliga religiously, because I like the Bundesliga, we get it for free here in the Netherlands, so especially with the channel that I buy. You know what I'm saying? I can watch that shit for free, and every time it's on, I just open it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, when I look at Sesko, yes, he has these attributes, and I'm not saying this guy should never be a footballer in his life. That's not what I'm saying. Yes, he does bring some qualities to football as a whole. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, he's not consistent, and it's not enough. What he brings is not enough, in my opinion. And if he can learn to do things that he needs to do for us to win league, I don't know if he can do that. You know what I'm saying?
TK, is it his number? I'm trying to understand from your point of view. I'm asking you a question.
No, it's
here.
how he plays
No.
football.
I know. I'm saying because for me, his attributes as a player is everything I need to go up against 20 teams that play low block against us.
Yes,
right?
but what if you don't see those
I'm
attributes
saying
a lot of times?
if Sesko, but I agree his numbers aren't there. I'm saying if Sesko had the numbers, let's say he scored 50 goals this season in all competitions, right? If he had the numbers, people would say he's a quality signing, right? So his numbers speak for themselves. So I agree with you, his consistency is not there. But to say he hasn't got enough in terms of talent ID, that I'm trying to understand, what more could he have?
No, but I'm not saying only GA. You are saying that I only say GA. I'm saying
I'm asking you, what else does he not have in his game?
In some games, he disappears. He doesn't look good. Ashraf, you
But
can
why?
confirm
Why
this
though?
because Ashraf, you can confirm this because you also watch Leipzig, yeah? Sometimes he just falls short because he's not he doesn't have a presence in the game. Sometimes he's just not there. You know what I'm saying? And he's just gliding through the game.
Uh,
That's why his numbers is also pretty low, because not only is he not consistent with his numbers, he's also not consistent when it comes to his performances and his high form. He's not. He's just not a consistent player overall.
But I think
guys, and
also,
I'll say this. Sorry, go ahead, Sam. Yeah.
no, I just want to add to T's point. I don't know the player much, but the price tag alone is a huge risk. You know, you pay 75 or 80 million on a player, then there's a huge expectation from that player, and especially as a striker, that you acquire him to, you know, get the ground running. You cannot wait for him until he develops or he adapt himself to the Premier League. So the price tag here also is a huge factor, where I don't think it's a good choice because of the high risk, where it could be close to Gyökeres, but at least with Gyökeres, the numbers back him up, where Cisco, he doesn't have those numbers. And also Gyökeres has more experience and more when you score goals in such in abundance like Gyökeres, there's a huge factor that grows in a striker, which is confident, right? Confident on himself, regardless of the league that he plays in. Yes, he plays in the Portuguese league, where this guy's playing in the Bundesliga, but with Gyökeres, at least the number of goals he scored is huge. You cannot just ignore that fact, and that creates a huge confidence in the player. And I think the price tag also have in a similar risk zone, where 80 mil is a huge amount for a summer transfer, so that you
That's
can
the
target
minimum
other
as
players.
well, eh? That's the minimum.
Yeah, that's the minimum without the ads on. I agree with you. So that I back up
And
your picks. Go ahead.
And this is my point, Sami. Like, I don't watch like the Bundesliga. Like, I watched maybe there are 4 or 5 teams that I try to watch as much as I can. And even then, in the last 2 seasons, I probably watched only like 10 games max of Sesko. So when people talk about him as if they've watched him every week, it just kind of, for me, is weird. And let me tell you guys this. For starters, if I just compare him, I just did the stat comparison between him and Joao Pedro, because people are saying, "Oh, you've taken it too far, Ash." You realize Joao Pedro scores. By the way, Bundesliga is easier. Everyone knows this. But in case you guys don't know, it's easier because there's a lot more open space in the Bundesliga. So strikers have more joy. They have more chance to counterattack. We all know Premier League, it's not the same. I think all of us agree, right?
But I think it's still better than the Portuguese league, right?
Yeah, of course. But I'm comparing it with Joao Pedro because he plays in the Premier League.
Okay.
Joao Pedro, they both score the same number of goals per game. I'm looking at per 90 because Joao Pedro plays less games. So 0.5. Assists, Joao Pedro's higher, 0.3. Chances created, Joao Pedro's higher, 1.3. Even attempted through balls, obviously, because Joao Pedro does more than just scoring goals. And here's the biggest thing that I look at as a striker. Sesko's conversion rate is 26%, which is okay. It's not great. It's not bad. It's decent. Joao Pedro's is 30%. So when people say this guy's a better striker, please explain to me in what regards. And now I also compared him to 2 other strikers in the Bundesliga that I watch a lot. Well, one of them I watch a lot. The other guy, I just saw him a little bit this season. Sergio Guirassy, who plays for Dortmund, the guy who was playing for Stuttgart a couple of years ago and was top scorer. And Nick Woltemade, the guy who started for Germany last game, who plays for Stuttgart as well. I think he replaced Guirassy after that, who used to play for Bremen before. Bro, both of them also have better numbers than him. Guirassy's conversion rate is 30%. Woltemade is 33%. So Guirassy scores way.
How much money is Guirassy? How much money is Guirassy?
Way cheaper. Although he's 29, so I wouldn't get him because he's 29. But my point is, he's way cheaper. He scores way more goals. Woltemade scored the same number of goals, I think 12 or 13, but much better conversion. Because he's played 28 games. This guy played 33 games. Goals per game, Woltemade has 0.7. Sesko is 0.5. So this is what I'm saying. People are saying Sesko because it's been proven, because there was a report that came out saying Arsenal have been chasing Sesko for 2 years now, which means everything they're talking about Sesko has been from his Salzburg days, not Leipzig, because we've been linked with him since Salzburg. But people are talking about, but look what he's done in the Bundesliga. Actually, what he's done in the Bundesliga is not good compared to the other strikers available in the league and the market.
So obviously, from all the stats you bring up, you've basically proven what everyone's basically been saying, which is that his numbers in all areas, not only goal scoring, haven't been great for a striker, and that's a perfectly good argument as to why we shouldn't sign him. So it doesn't even have to be a discussion around his talent ID. Like, he can have good attributes, and a lot of players have good attributes. But for me, if you can't show with those attributes that you're at a level where you can consistently deliver, I base what I like on efficiency. See, I don't like, because I've been arguing.
So we agree.
I've been arguing with people and they're telling me about, oh, look at the eye test. On the eye is very good and he's got all these attributes. But for me, numbers speak for themselves. The elite players.
So we agree.
He agrees.
Players,
Yeah.
I agree.
So we agree.
I said that at the start. I'm just
We
saying,
all agree, though.
I would never
we all
walk
agree,
around, but I would never walk around saying, "Oh, because you've got the same goals as."
No, but this
Relax,
Souls guy always
shit.
tries to do something, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just need to
it's not
confirm.
that.
I was expecting.
No,
a
no,
madness.
no. I think Sultan and I have always been aligned that when it comes to attackers, if you don't have numbers, it doesn't matter how good your eye test is. Eye test is nothing when it comes to attackers if the numbers aren't there. Name me one legendary attacker that doesn't have good numbers.
Yeah, and it's
Zero.
like I say this all the time. There has to be an end product for what you're doing. If you have amazing dribbles and successful dribbles, but you have not a good amount of chances created, what's your end product after those dribbles? If you're just dribbling and not doing anything at the end of it, what's the point? That's why there's players like Doku who are amazing dribblers, but their end product's not there. Before Sterling started putting up numbers for Man City, there was a period where he was being an amazing dribbler, but his end product wasn't there. So end product speaks for itself. So until Sesko can prove that, and he may stay at Leipzig, and he may in 2-3 years time might be putting up 30-40 goals, and then someone will probably sign him for 80-100 million pounds. But right now we haven't got time to build projects. We have to win. And if you want to win, you sign the player.
I completely agree with Souls, and I think we're all in agreement.
We all do, yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. Listen, I'm just gonna, before we go to the Arsenal section, let me just read this super chat from Sean, who says, "Big up Sean, by the way. Next season, load in. Arsenal win nothing and lose League Cup finals on pens, or the League Cup final on pens. Arteta didn't make Odegaard miss the pen, so it's progress." Yeah, man. Listen.
You cannot blame Arteta for that.
Yeah, listen, I'll be real, man. I just, bro. I'll be real, man. It's just vibes next season. Do you know what I mean? I hope that we can win the league. I'm gonna go in. If we make like some big signings, I'm gonna go in excited, of course. But still, it's probably. I'm probably gonna have the excitement for the first few games, and then I'm gonna realize the football that we're playing. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I don't think we'll win anything this season.
Yeah, but
and that's the thing. You hit the nail on the head, Saad. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. If he goes in next season and plays attacking football like the way we played 2 seasons ago or 3 seasons ago, then at least I'll say, okay, you know what? Even if we don't win it, I think I still want him out regardless because I think we need to move on. But my point is, it gives us a much better chance. You cannot be going into next season playing scared, pussy-ass football. You can play it against the big teams because against the big teams, it works incredibly well. He knows what he's doing against the big teams. I have no issues with that. But against the 14 other clubs in the league or 13 other clubs in the league, you need to play attacking football because you're much better than them. You're much better than them. And he doesn't do that enough. Hopefully he does. I don't know.
And by the way, guys, and we're not going to discuss this now, but I just want to say as well that that's not to say that I think Gyökeres is the perfect option, because I also see a lot of flaws in this game.
It's not perfect. Again, 100%.
But nobody is saying,
and on top of that,
nobody is saying he's 99 rated perfect player. Nobody is saying that, bro.
Yeah, no, but I have some concerns about the oppositions we face and his attributes as a player.
And you know what? While we're on that, it's the Arsenal section. Victor Gyökeres. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, look, I will start with this.
Hold on. We're linked to him. Do you know what I mean? Apparently, I'm just gonna quickly go through the rumors, that have come out. Obviously, it came out that we put in a bid that got rejected and got told that apparently that didn't happen, that there was no offer or nothing like that. But apparently we did speak with his agent. And I think
Hakan Çetinkaya, by the way, that's his name.
Yeah, big up Hakan Çetinkaya. Big up to my
Çetinkaya.
Big up Hakan Çetinkaya. Yes. Big up to my guy, fellow Turkish brother, like my guy T right here. Do you know what I mean? If you didn't tell he's Turkish, the Hakan should have given it away. Do you know what I mean?
Hakan?
Well, the Hakan should have given it away, bro. But the news that we have is that obviously his agent. Let's start off with the sporting president. Sporting president came out and said, "There's no way I will be accepting 60 million euros plus 10 million euros for Victor Gyökeres. He will go for way more when other players are going for such and such and such money." Then Victor Gyökeres replies, with on his actual official Instagram account. But I put up a story saying there's a lot of talk going on at the moment. Most of it's false. I will talk very, very soon. And then the most recent thing that we have is his agent coming out saying that we have a written we have evidence and we have a written thing to say that he will be sold for 60 million plus whatever 10. Do you know what I mean? So they have a written thing, and if they don't, then Sporting have got to pay them a large sum of money if they don't sell them for that amount. So this whole thing has gone from like way open to way open. Do you know what I mean? So now it makes sense why we're meeting up with the agents and speaking to the agents and all this, because the agents clearly know what they're doing and they know that they're going to get their player out for 60 million plus 10. So they already know like what the situation is. They kind of got Sporting by the balls now, because the players relationship is completely done. Apparently he's come out and said that he'd never play for Sporting again. How true that is, we don't know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I feel like they've that Sporting president, he completely fumbled the bag, bro. He completely fumbled the bag.
Scumbag move, bro.
Yeah,
well, it is a scumbag.
Kind of says to me, it says to me that he's definitely leaving 100% now because of that relationship.
Yeah,
right? Wherever he goes. So that's obviously good news for the teams that need a striker. Look, I think Gyökeres, top striker for me, top European striker, has scored in some big Champions League games against some top teams. Again, UCL football is kind of hard for me to judge because obviously you know how UCL football works. Your two teams are attacking each other. There's a lot of space, a lot of counter-attacking football. So, but again,
City though, hat-trick against City.
Yeah, top quality.
Yeah,
I think his numbers, again, using the same argument Ashraf mentioned, his numbers speak for themselves. Even with his penalties, I know he scored a lot of them. But even if you take away half his penalties or wherever, he's still got 20, 25 goals.
Check chat.
In all comps. So you have to kind of give him the props and credit when it comes to his goal scoring numbers. My only skepticism is his talent ID. Again, looking at some of his attributes, I feel like it could be an issue for the teams that he'll be coming up against in the Premier League in terms of low block. His ability to win the ball in terms of aerially is a big concern for me as well. And I think also I'm thinking, why haven't more teams come in for him? That's my only other reservation. Like, obviously, we know Chelsea need a striker. We know Liverpool need a striker. We know Arsenal need a striker. We know, obviously, Man United need a striker. We even know, so there's at least 3, 4, maybe 5 teams. Even Napoli, I think, need a striker now, especially if Osimhen leaves. But I'm not seeing any concrete links with Gyokeres, which is slightly concerning. Maybe because of the whole issue in the club with the transfer fee and everything. That could be a reason. But for me, not enough teams have been jumping on this guy, which in my opinion, if you take away everything and you just look at his numbers and the teams he scored against and everything like that, everyone should be in for him, because everyone that needs a striker should be in for him. But no one's really made any concrete bet. Even if we do end up getting Gyökeres, if Gyökeres was the second option to Sesko, then what's going on there? You know what I mean? Are we priced out of Sesko? And if we are priced out of Sesko, no, it's true. Us fans, we want Gyökeres first. But I mean, if we know for a fact Arteta wants Sesko first option, we know it 100%. So we can't just say now, if we get Gyökeres, Arteta always wanted Gyökeres. No, Arteta can't lie.
Arteta will never bench Gyökeres for Sesko.
No, I know, but I'm saying, exactly. But if we get Gyökeres at the end of it, he wasn't our first choice, which is also a concerning issue as well. But I mean, why hasn't people been linked to him? And
can I give you guys
I mean, who cares?
Theory on that?
Though, is my question.
No, but I'll give you.
Who cares? TK, it's about.
It matters. It matters.
It matters. Top football teams in Europe.
Just as many teams went for Gyökeres, then people went for Sesko, because how many teams actually went for Sesko outside
exactly,
of us?
But we all say Sesko shit. So this is what I'm trying to say. If
TT, I hear him. What he's saying is, if Gyökeres is that good and he's that level, and we're saying he is that level, how come a lot of other clubs have not gone for him? And I'll give you guys a theory on this. There's 2 theories. One is, maybe it's more than a theory, it's actually like factual, which is the number of clubs that need that kind of a striker right now are very few, because I agree Chelsea would need him, but I don't think Chelsea want to pay that kind of wage because they don't want to break their wage structure for anyone right now. Which is fair. If that's their project, I guess. Liverpool, I think if they didn't spend that big money on what's his name on Verts, they might have
Gyökeres,
considered splashing 70, 80 million, because I don't think they'll get Ekitike as well for like 100 million. There's no chance, because I think
But
they are
this-
are
developing.
selling
but,
Nunes,
but,
though.
but this is what I'm saying, though, Ashraf. They're linked with other strikers for a similar amount or more, but they haven't been linked.
Yeah, I know, but they're linked with Gyökeres. They
But,
were
but,
linked with
but,
Gyökeres before.
but Liverpool
They weren't
can do it
linked, there were reports.
if they sell Diaz and Nunes. I mean, I think they would
And-
be able to allocate the funds for it.
I mean, you
Maybe,
can use
maybe,
the same,
and today-
but Sols, you can use the exact same argument for Osimhen and say, oh, why don't other teams go for Osimhen?
Yeah, same
right
thing,
now?
same thing. I agree.
You
I
know
agree.
what
And
I'm saying?
again,
Why,
Yeah,
why,
but
does,
Osimhen-
why does a team like Galatasaray have a free reign over someone like Osimhen right now? Is the question.
Yeah, but
You
I
know what
think Osimhen tees for what you mentioned in the beginning, which I know is a stupid thing for clubs to consider, but they'll go like an attitude and all that kind of stuff. And also he says he wants 400, 500k a week.
he is a bit money
which-
hungry. Yeah, he is a bit money hungry.
Yeah,
but-
which is what he's asking from Saudi and all that stuff.
but,
Which obviously, I
no,
know
but
you
if that's true, he would have went to Saudi already, bro. They gave him 45
I
a year,
understand.
bro.
No, but apparently he wanted more. The report came out that he wanted more than that.
No,
or his
the
agent,
report came
someone.
out and he said, I don't want to play in Saudi. I want to play in
Fair.
Europe and play
Yeah,
Champions
Fair.
League.
But I
regardless,
guarantee you,
TK,
but I
regardless,
but
TK,
sorry,
the
just to
point I'm
continue,
making- Go on.
just to continue on the theories, I'm
Because
saying
you
but-
cannot
but-
say you come to Galatasaray for money. Nobody in their mother in
no,
their
no,
life
no,
would
T.
join Galatasaray for money.
T.
That's not
I'm not
true.
trying to insult. I'm not insulting Galatasaray, but he went to
Mane
Galatasaray at
joined
that
Galatasaray
time.
for me.
No, but he went to Galatasaray at that time because there was no other option. Because Chelsea pulled out and all that kind of stuff, and he said no.
Okay,
as
But-
well.
but don't you think,
and they made use of the situation. He likes the club, he likes the country, he likes the people, and now there's a chance for him to actually stay
Look,
and sign a 3-year contract.
Yeah,
And
maybe,
that
but
shouldn't
we
be
all know.
possible for a team in Turkey, bro. That's not.
I agree, but I'm saying a lot of clubs might be by the way, today Liverpool are apparently linked with him, but I think a lot of clubs would be avoiding him because of certain things like the wages he's asking and stuff like that, which some clubs
Yes.
maybe don't think is correct.
And the
But
same
just to go
issue
back,
goes for Gyökeres.
on my, just to
Also
go
his
back
high
on my
wages.
issue. Yeah, maybe that's one theory. And as I said, a lot of big clubs don't need a striker like that, which is why they're not chasing heavily. The clubs that do need, like Arsenal, United, are heavily linked with him, right? The other theory. Now, this is just a theory, so maybe there's probably no basis to it whatsoever. But I did tell it to you guys last time. If you look at the last 15 or even 20 years, I went back to 20 years, in fact. Every single top scorer from the Portuguese league, including the ones that have banged over 30 goals,
yeah, we
all
went
of
through
them
that. Yeah, I remember you.
have gone and flopped
Mm.
outside. So maybe some clubs are looking at that and saying, we need this guy to go prove it somewhere else as well, right? Maybe that's their logic. I'm not saying I agree with that. I think Gyökeres could have broken that curse, if you want to call it a curse.
Mm.
But they're probably looking at it that, hey, but there were 20 other top scorers or whatever that all flopped outside. So
Okay, let me
Can we also
reflect to that.
agree, all of us here, that the only striker that is above Gyökeres right now is Isak. Outside of Isak, there is no one that eclipses Gyökeres currently.
In terms of numbers, yes. In terms
Yes.
of numbers,
Yes.
yeah, but not quality. Yeah, the quality, I think Osimhen is better.
yeah.
Quality.
terms of-
You
in
mean
terms of
available
quality.
strikers, right?
I mean, you don't have to tell me that. I know how good he is. you
Wait,
know
wait.
what
Are
I'm
you
No,
talking
no,
about
but I'm
available
saying-
strikers, team? Or
Yes,
every striker?
in the current market to go for right now, outside of Isak,
Yeah,
who is not
Osimhen.
available,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gyökeres is the second best thing.
Yeah, but
I heard
where my
Alvarez-
where
I
my
heard
but
Alvarez
where
might
my
be available.
yeah but where my issue is, it isn't about Gyökeres. I think Gyökeres is a good striker, right? I'm just saying that
Mm.
I think we should get him if it was between him and Sesko, because if I say can Gyökeres get 25 Premier League goals next season,
I mean,
I'd say
it
probably
is
yes. Yeah, but the problem that I have is that when it comes to Gyökeres, one is the issue around there's top European clubs that need a striker, and no one's made any concrete bids or concrete. links
I want to
That's
reply
number
to you
one. Number two-
about this, Souls.
And
Like,
no,
you
sorry.
just
Let
everyone,
me just
bro.
say, I just wanted Ashraf.
Nobody went for Sesko as well, bro.
Yeah, and Sesko is shit, bro. You said that, but then you think Gyökeres
Yeah,
is
but-
the best thing
yeah,
since
but-
sliced
but-
bread.
but
Then
also-
why
but-
teams not going in for him?
Okay,
anyway, I want Ashraf-
There's
I want
enough
Ashraf
people that
to-
say that's the same about Sesko, bro. Oh,
Yeah,
the
no,
next
it's true,
Ibrahimovic.
it's true. But I want Ashraf
You know what I'm
to address my point, because I know he talked about Sesko.
Which point?
You addressed the theories around people not wanting him. It's obviously a concern, but you've addressed that. What about the issues with this quality and talent ID in terms of his attributes against the teams that we're going to face in the Premier League the majority of the time?
I
What do you think
disagree with
about
that because I went and checked Sporting Lisbon play in the Portuguese league. They have the second highest average possession. They average 60% possession per game, which means in majority of the games he plays against teams that defend deep or where he has way more of the ball. That for me is a good thing. If he was playing for a team that had 40-30% average of 50 or even like low 50% possession, I would be concerned, yes, because we are a team when majority of the games we like to hold possession and keep the ball, right? So you as a striker will have to be battling out with defenders. The fact that Sporting Lisbon have the second highest average possession in the league, it means that you do play in a team that controls and dominates majority of games. I know a lot of highlights that people show on YouTube are him counter-attacking and all, but that's a good thing. If you're playing in a possession-based team and you're still scoring counter-attacking goals as well, and I saw YouTube videos of him scoring like tap-ins and getting in between defenders and finishing the chances and stuff like that. So clearly he can do both. Again, will it translate to the Premier League? I don't know. I'm not going to say it does.
The one thing I don't like is people disrespecting tap-ins. The one thing I don't like, I hate when people disrespect tap-ins. Yeah. I hate when people disrespect. No, but people use this to shit on Gyökeres. It's like, oh, look at all his goals.
And look at Haaland.
But the thing is, people disrespect tap-ins, yeah? Like as if, do you know the definition of a tap-in, bro? Do you know that your position has to be perfect for you to be able to be in a position? What you got to do is just touch it and it's in the back of the net. It's not accidental. They don't just appear and, oh my god, I'm in a position. Oh, the ball's being passed to me. Wow, let me just tap it in. Bro, that's not what happens.
And how many times does Kai Havertz mess up those tap-ins and easy chances? You know.
Yeah. I think
I completely agree with Ash. By the way, I completely agree with Ash. The possession thing, because I was trying to find, but the thing is, I'm not a stats guy, so I don't know these stats websites like the back of my hand, like Ash. But I want to find like a stats website where they have like where Gyökeres picks up the ball or where the position of the defense is when he has the ball attacking a team. I want to know if the team is doing a low block.
If you put Gyökeres' graph with Sesko's, I saw the difference at someone's stream. I forgot whose. My bad for that.
It was my one, mate.
It was here.
It was here, you fraud. It was here, you fraud.
I was about to say I saw it somewhere, but I just. But you showed us, bro.
No, but I want to know. But it's not. I misspoke. I don't want to know where Gyökeres has the ball most and where he touches the ball most. I want to know where the defensive line is when Sporting attack, because I want to know if the defensive line is deep. So when Sporting attack, are they playing low blocks?
There are some, but Y Scout charges money and they're expensive.
Yeah, man, Y Scout's too much.
But they are super
Y Scout, forget about touch money, bro. Y Scout does not cost money. Y Scout, you have to be an official. You can't get it, bro. Unless you're an official. Unless you're a coach or like you're
no, you can as a journalist because you're a content creator. But the problem is Y Scout. Yeah, it's expensive and also like.
Ashraf, I'm hoping Arsenal have the money. I'm hoping Arsenal have the money to have these systems in place to be able to run these scouting systems to be able to know what's right for the club.
Of course they do.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I think Gyökeres should come. Everyone here believes he should come. What's Arsenal not seeing in his game? Who've run these stats that Sad's talking about to why they didn't want him in the first place?
Berta does. Arteta doesn't. That's the difference.
Yeah. Well, then
I don't think this Arteta Berta thing is.
No, I'm not saying they are clashing. Whoa, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying Berta has been liking this guy since Atleti, and the first thing that he said when he joined Arsenal, or not what he said, but apparently was going on, is he had Gyökeres at number 1 on his list. We needed a striker, and he had a list of strikers, and Gyökeres was number 1.
And to back up G, we had 0 links with Gyökeres before, and sorry, Sami, we had 0 links with Gyökeres before, and it intensified after Berta joined. We have to be honest. Yeah. There were no reports.
Definitely, yes, 100%. But on that take, look, there's two things here. There's the club and the player himself. Gyökeres himself, I think he's set what he wants from in terms of where to transfer. So it could be what his agent is communicating with this certain club that he wants, and that's why maybe we're not seeing all the clubs are bidding for him at this moment, because there's no agreement, or at least verbal agreement, between like the agent and the club, and it could be a reason why we're not seeing clubs moving on for him. That's to your point, Souls. And on the other hand, where the club and the owner, of course, he wants to benefit from him as much as he can. So the best way doing that And let's assume, assume that there is a gentleman's agreement between the owner and the football player, saying that you can leave for 60 plus mil. Then the only way to get more than 60 mil for an owner is to have a bidding war. And the bidding war would, raise up the price of Gyökeres, and there's nothing they can do about it as a board, so they're just gonna wait for the highest bid and accept it. But on the other hand, I think the agent of Gyökeres has had some concrete communication, and at the same time, Gyökeres knows exactly where he wants to go. He's just waiting for the green light from both parties, the club that he wants to go. And I think it's obvious that he wants to go to Arsenal, in my opinion, because if he wanted to go to Chelsea, for example, or to go to Man United, I think he would have easily said to his agent, listen, hey, just give the green light. I want to go to Man United, or I want to go to Chelsea, or I want to go to any club. It's easy to communicate with those clubs nowadays, unlike before. But I think he's having an eye to a certain project that fits him as a player, and saying at this stage of playing football, I think the most stable project that he's seeing right now is Arsenal. So I think that could be a reason why there are not many clubs bidding for him at this current moment.
By the way, Sammy, there is some news that just came out around 2 minutes ago or 3 minutes ago from Record Portugal. Who apparently these guys are very reliable, because they're very reliable for like news coming out of Sporting. They've broken a lot of news from Sporting. They're very big Portuguese thing. They said that Sporting Lisbon is keen to finalize Gyökeres' deal as quickly as possible, with a meeting between the club's general manager, or I think whatever director, whatever it is, Bernardo Palmeiro, and Andrea Berta, featuring an offer of 55 million euros plus 10 million in add-ons, which did not satisfy the club's management. It was decided to hold a final round of negotiations, given Sporting's insistence on a sum of 80 million euros. So apparently they're going to hold another. So they apparently we did say to them, we're willing to do an offer for around 55 million euros plus the 10, which is 65 million euros, but they weren't happy with that. So there's going to be another round of talks, most probably next week, for them to talk over it, to see if they can get closer to because they want 80 million euros, which is around 67 million pounds. Or something.
But what does this mean though? Are we gonna buy 2 strikers, or are we gonna only?
I don't know.
I think our Berta's way of approaching things to have multiple options in line at this.
I know that. I know that. But
instead of, so he doesn't want to.
We are bidding though. We are bidding.
No.
There's a difference between getting an agreement and actually bidding money.
But I think what I think they might be doing though is he might be saying, "Is this?" Because I don't think it was an official bid, but I don't think it was an official bid. Do you know what I mean? It's not like a bid that they put in, like we want to. But
even inside if it's a
I think it was just a verbal.
But still, that's an official.
Yeah, no. But a verbal bid is not an official bid. An official bid is when you. No, because an official bid is when you put on a.
If I come to you and tell you here, I'm going to give you.
If I come into you and I say, what do we think of a figure around 55 million? Do you know what I mean?
Right, so I'm showing interest.
I'm not really feeling that. Yeah, no, but then you say I'm not really feeling that 55. But if I say no, we want to pay 55 million as our first bid, there's a difference between those two. There's a difference between me discussing, what do you think about 55 million, something like that, or me saying I want to pay.
The only difference that is that's on paper and that's still verbal, but the point is there's 2 entities, the buyer and the seller are there and they're discussing it. This is the point we're saying. So this is a very serious step from the buyer himself to
go, of course,
and say it, even if it's verbal, like you said. I agree with you, it's verbal, but still not.
But yeah, that's the thing. Verbal for me, it's not a
for me, but still
it's not a bid on the record. It's not but it's not for me. It's not a bid for me. A verbal bid is not a bid on record, bro. Do you know what I mean? It's just in between them in the meeting.
Okay, but at the end of the day, we
regardless
still had contact about making a bid, and
exactly.
We gave them a sum. Okay,
I think
it's not like this is only a speculation. It actually happened.
But what I think is happening is I think Berta's already spoken to Leipzig. He already knows the price that they want, and they've already agreed on a price for Sesko. I think he wants to get Victor Gyökeres, because what we heard when he came in is he will get like multiple strikers, and he wants to have literally the final. He wants the final decision to be okay. I've got both of them. Yeah, I've got the price for Gyökeres, I've got the price for Sesko. Which one do you guys should we go with? And then we just hit the button and we say, yeah, we want to go ahead and
add more to your point. I think that's also a strategy from Berta to say,
yeah,
hey, if you're not gonna, compromise a bit with the price, then we'll go for that option. It's also a strategy of going, which is very nice to see. I mean, it's better than putting your eggs in one basket and you will pay whatever the club will say you pay. Here you have two choices and you can drop the price of each one of them and you say, hey, listen, this club is offering me this much for that player. I think I would go this direction. Yeah. So the other club can reconsider the value they hold their player. I mean, it's a good
but Leipzig also made a scumbag move to us, because they at the beginning came out and insinuated and said something in the lines of, oh, we already had contacts with Arsenal last year. We already had good conversations. We already had talks about the potential price, which was around 65 million. And they said, oh, the price tag for 80 and 100, between 80 and 100 million is for clubs that come for Sesko at the current time. You know what I'm saying? But with Arsenal, we already had contacts. We already had these conversations. So we don't expect them to pay those prices. It's just for newcomers that just came to bid for this guy. So at the end of the day, them saying to us right now, the 65 million is off, we want between 80 and 100, is also a scumbag move to us. And I think that also pissed off Berta. And not only is he trying to compromise, he's also trying to set us up so we have a backup plan for just in case the Sesko deals falls through. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
agree. Yeah.
If this
I
falls
completely
through, at least
agree.
we have a different plan. You know
I think that's good. I think Berta's thinking about every possibility. Do you know what I mean? Like, let me quickly get these super chats. Callie's saying if we get Sesko, I would say get Watkins as well. Yeah, man. I've Watkins being the backup. I've severely Watkins let me down in that second half of the season because I don't think he performed that well. I thought he was actually going to kill it, bro. But when you look at the numbers that he put up, bro, it's a bit mad. It was a bit mad.
I think where the Watkins boat has sailed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it has. And then also,
but guys, sorry, before you go into that, to back up Cali, I think why he's trying to say that is Sesko is not proven enough. He's still young. If we have Sesko and let's say he's going through like a bad patch, we can at least then rotate Watkins for that period until we bring. I don't know if Souls is trying to talk to us. You're on mute, Souls. I'm saying if Sesko is going through a bad patch, you can then rotate Watkins for that little period until Sesko gains his form again. So I get what he's trying to say. He's trying to
I get that as well. I get that as well that he wants to have two strikers rather than one. If you're going to get Sesko, who's a raw player, and then you might as well go and get two strikers. In my personal opinion, I get two strikers anyway. They laughed at me on the
So Watkins is never going to touch grass, is what you're saying, because he's never going to bench Havertz.
If we were really about it, bro, do you know what I mean? We'd get. If I owned Arsenal right now, I'd get both of them, Sesko and Gyökeres. You could play Sesko. You can play Gyökeres right now with Sesko coming in and getting ready and prepared.
Yeah, but the manager will never allow that.
And of course the manager. But I'm just saying hypothetically, if I'm the manager right now, I'd get both of them. I'd move Jesus as the right wing back up. Nwaneri would be the 10 backup for Erdegaard and actually get minutes. And then I'd have I'd sell one of the left wingers, and I'd try and bring in somebody. Speaking of left wingers, by the way, let me just get into this one. Denzel saying, using his members chat, member for 4 months, by the way. Big up to you, Denzel, man. Absolute legend, bro. Member for 4 months. Absolute G. Big up to you, my broski, man. I appreciate it. Guys, if you want a membership, you can get it.
This is true.
Yeah. He says, just get Gyökeres. I trust Berta more. Pacers in 6.
Pacers in 6, baby. Let's go.
These guys.
What the hell?
What the hell?
What the hell, Berta?
I want
That's
such a
me,
funny
honestly.
son, bro.
OKC have worked hard all year. They've done really well. They've been the best team from the start till now. I hope they come back. I do.
I hope they don't. Tonight, it's going
Some
to be
OKC
3-1,
shown.
and it's going to be over. Inshallah. Let's go.
This guy, bro. Wallah, you're actually shameless. You're actually shameless. This guy wants the downfall of OKC for some weird reason, man.
Yes,
It's crazy.
of course.
Do you want the downfall? I'm here for it. I'm here for it, bro. I love it. Big up. Speaking of left wingers, apparently Rodrigo's staying. Is what we're hearing in the Twitter sphere. Do you know what I mean? Reports coming out he's staying. That he's happy with whatever. Yeah, apparently my source wasn't right. Do you know what I mean? Ha 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 ha. Ash can have his last laugh now. The fraud. But yeah, no, apparently no, but that one was actually the do you remember the Spanish one that I sent?
Yeah, Inaki or whatever his name is. But I don't know if this is true either. I don't
But
think anything.
I don't know. I'll be real with the Rodrigo thing. I don't know what news is true and what news is false, because these that Madrid extra and these aggregators, bro, they literally just put everything, even if it contradicts like what they just put up like yesterday. They put up one thing in one day, and then they'll put another thing that completely contradicts what they said yesterday.
I think it's gonna be the saga of the summer.
What, the Rodrigo to Arsenal, whatever. I think a lot of people are waiting on. What he does in the World Club World
Because
Cup.
Fabrizio stated that Rodrigo has to come to Madrid and tell them that he wants to transfer. So he needs to submit his transfer request. So that's the only time that Arsenal will make a move. I don't see it happening anytime soon, to be honest.
But
So
Williams,
what you're saying is
the thing is, we're stuck in a
convince
situation, but we're stuck in a situation though because Nico Williams, we ain't paying as much as like the whole fan base seems, or a majority of the fan base wants this guy.
The Williams story is
Nico
a bit
Williams.
because
Nico Williams, we won't pay his wages. The thing is, loads of teams are circling around him now. Anyway, loads of teams are circling around
Bayern
him.
and Barca in particular.
Yeah, Bayern and Barca. Barca stepped up plenty goal. I think just put it out. In regards to Barcelona, really like the play. It's never changed. Like they've always liked him. They want to try and get him.
He had a meeting. He had a meeting with Bayern, and then he went to Barca to have a meeting with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, yeah, you got Williams, who's now going to probably be taken off the table. Rodrigo probably doesn't want to leave. So now that only leaves one more name that was on that list, and that's Rafael Leao. That's the last name that was on that list. So now we have to go and get him.
Don't rule out Barcola. Barcola definitely wants to leave.
True.
Or there are news that he wants to leave. And
Ash knows what I said to him last time. Remember?
Yeah. But generally, I like him, bro. I don't. He's not my number one or number two option, but he's good. He is really good. He can play left wing. He can play striker. He's quick.
Where's the finish though, bro? The last.
Yeah, but he scores a lot of goals, so clearly he can finish up to.
If I'm going for somebody, I'm throwing the kitchen sink at Desiree Doué, bro. I'm throwing the kitchen sink at it, bro. 120 mil. Just throw it, bro. Just get him, bro. Just get him. I don't care, bro. Wait,
yeah. Just to add my little bit in here, guys. Obviously, I've been listening. Like my biggest concern is now. My biggest concern I have with Arsenal at the moment is that, and I know people have been arguing and saying, "Oh, it's early. I'm getting carried away," but I'm just seeing a lot of clubs around us doing business very quick. I know some of them have club walk-ups coming up.
Facts.
So, and obviously, I know a lot of them have club walk-ups coming up, so they have to sign players more eagerly than we do. But still, for me, even if Chelsea and City have the club walk-up, they're still making their target signings very quickly, and they're doing their business very seriously. And when they want a player, they're going for him. They're making bids and they're closing it. They're not doing what Arsenal are doing, which is repeating the same news every single week, saying we feel for this player, we think he'll be a great addition, but nothing's actually happening with this player. All right, and for me now, and again, it's all based on rumors, TK and Sammy and Sad and Ash. But for me, if we're going to lose out on Nico Williams now to Bayern, we're going to lose out on Rodrigo. And I always thought that Rodrigo is going to have some sort of conversation with Real Madrid and Alonso, and he'll probably end up staying. But even if he does end up staying, we've now missed out on our two main targets, right, when it comes to left wing. And then we're now stuck with Semenyo, right? There's been no concrete links to the guy from Atlanta. I forgot his name now. Lookman. So really now we're again stuck where we're not getting our main targets. We're stuck now going down the pile. And I don't think Semenyo is a big enough upgrade on Martinelli or Trossard. So if we're stuck in a situation, I'm going to say this right now, if we sign Gyokeres or Rodrigo, whatever striker we sign can be the best striker since sliced bread. If we don't sort out that left wing position, we are fucked regardless. I'm saying it right now. The left wing position is just important in the striker position.
You can't go with Trossard.
I'm telling you, I cannot stand another season of Martinelli starting in that left wing position. I can't do it because I've been saying it for 2 years. He's not good enough to replace him. Right, it could still happen, but I'm saying that there's no concrete links at the moment, so I'm gonna have to.
I wouldn't rule out Rodrigo still. I feel like
I wouldn't
to get Rodrigo.
I wouldn't. But I'm just saying we need.
I feel like we won't just let him go just because. Oh,
they're going for this winger in Leipzig. I don't know what his name is. I forgot.
Nusa,
yes. What about?
Yeah, but I still look. I still
guys.
Think,
Yeah.
I still think. Just to finish my point. We have to start becoming more serious with what we want to do. If we're really targeting to go and win a league next season, we have to go and get our targets. I don't care if a player's priced out of his wages. Pay the fucking wages. Okay? If Nico Williams wants an extra 50k on his wages, fucking pay it. We have players sitting at Arsenal and nearly 300k a week who are fucking shit, like Kai Havertz and other players. So what are we doing right now? Do you know what I mean? We can't just say, oh, because we did it with Havertz, we don't want to make the same mistake again. No, because if we've done it now, we have to fucking keep going. You made your bed, lie in it. Right, we need to replace these players. So good players are going to want good salaries. You can't just find the best players with lower salary demands. It's not going to happen. If you want Osman, if you want Gyokeres, if you want Sesko, if you want Williams, if you want Sane, even Sane. I don't rate Sane that highly, I'll be honest with you. I know a lot of Arsenal fans didn't want him. I didn't want him either. But trust me, I'll tell you that now. I think Sane is a lot better than Semenyo by a country mile. Right? So if we end up with someone like Semenyo, for example, I'm not going to be happy. We need to be serious in what we're doing right now, and we need to start doing our business a lot quicker. Make the signings, make the bids. Show us you're a serious club. You know what I mean? Show us. Honestly,
brother, you need to give it up, bro. Give it up, bro. Okay, you're gassed. Wallahi,
no, it's fine.
I'm glad you guys got him because I don't rate him.
Yeah, I'm glad. Look, I didn't want him to come to Arsenal, and I was actually happy from going to Galatasaray. His wage demands were a bit crazy.
I mean,
but I still think he's a top player.
if you went from 39-year-old Mertens to 29-year-old Sane, you would be happy as well.
He's cooking. Hey, Ashes. Hey, T is going crazy with the word.
Guys, quickly. Guys, quickly. Between Barcola, Rodrigo, Leao, and Nico Williams, who do you guys think has the best conversion rate?
Look at
Oh my God, no! Oh God!
Who do you guys?
Wait, what did you say? What did you say? I didn't hear you.
Between Barcola, Rodrigo, Leao, and Nico Williams in their respective leagues last season, who do you think
Rodrigo
has the better conversion rate?
No, you're going to say conversion rate. Are you doing conversion rate per 90?
Per 90, yeah, of course.
Yeah, you're doing per 90. So it's
I
probably
think Rodrigo.
No, it's not Rodrigo. It's not Rodrigo. Give me the four options again, Ashraf.
I actually think it would be Rafael Leao. Funnily enough,
Barcola, Rodrigo, Leao, and Nico Williams.
I think it's Nico. I think it's Nico Williams.
I think it would be Rafael Leao. Funny enough, I don't know why. Even though I don't rate his
conversion rate, you said?
Yeah, meaning conversion from a goal, like who scores the best conversion?
Between Barcola and who did you say?
No, not Barcola.
Rodrigo, Leao, and Nico Williams, all in their leagues.
I think Leao.
It's Leao and Williams. It has to be Leao Williams. It's one of them.
Leao.
Sammy.
If he says Barcola,
Rodrigo.
If he says Barcola, I'm gonna jump out my window.
Barcola. I've seen him miss so many chances.
Guys,
man.
so I'll tell you the numbers.
No, just who's first, bro?
No, I'll tell you. Rodrigo, I'm gonna say it in any random order. Yeah? Rodrigo has a 15.79% conversion rate, which is normal for wingers, by the way. They don't convert like strikers, obviously.
Yeah.
Leao, 15.79.
Okay.
Leao is 17.7%. So he's higher than Rodrigo. Nico Williams is 12.5%, the lowest.
Yeah, Williams has a very awful goal scoring.
Barcola is 21%.
I'm gonna jump out my window, bro. I'm gonna
That
jump
is
out my
why-
window, bro.
This
Like,
is why
you
I
jump
say.
out my window,
This is
like-
why I say.
No,
This is why I say-
hold on,
No,
hold on,
but-
Ash,
hold on,
Ash,
hold
Ash,
on.
Ash, Ash,
Let me
Ash,
finish,
Ash,
let me
wait,
finish.
Ash,
So
Ash,
much,
Ash, Ash.
bro.
But you have to consider the league they're playing in.
No, I don't, because the Serie A and La Liga is also.
And not only that, Ashraf, you're a
Guys,
stat guy. Ashraf.
Can I just finish my point? Can I just finish my point? My
Yeah,
point
yeah.
is, guys. My point is, guys. We watch a game or two, maybe even three, like big games, where we see a player miss certain chances, and we automatically paint in our head that the other 50, 60 games he plays, he misses exactly the same way.
Barcola has a strong tally. Has a
Hold
strong
on.
goal
Okay,
tally.
so long story short, Ashraf wants Barcola. That's
No, I
what's
don't.
going
No,
on.
I want Rodrigo. I want
No,
Rodrigo.
sorry.
I want
if you
Rodrigo.
can stay. The reason why I think that stat is a bit flawed, Ash, because you have to contextualize that stat a little bit. Do you agree there are some
Oh,
players?
Pull up Trajan's comment. Pull up Trajan's comment.
No,
Pull up
but like,
Trajan's comment. There you
no,
go.
Yeah.
but
He wasn't
Ashraf,
exactly. He
yeah,
was a striker.
but Ashraf,
But these numbers are of him as a winger
Ashraf,
at PSG, by the
but
way.
Ashraf,
Anyway,
do
go
you
on.
agree there are some situations where a team will generate a lot more chances, meaning a player can still miss a lot of chances, but also score in those exact same game? For example, there was a season where Salah's conversion was low. He'd get so, because Liverpool used to create a massive amount of chances, and Salah would miss so many, but still score 2-3 goals in a game. Do you understand?
Yeah, but that's why. Yeah, exactly. But that would make sense. That's an argument you can use for someone who has a low conversion rate. But if someone has a high conversion rate and he scores a lot of goals, which Barcola does, by the way.
But how many chances
argument
is Barcola getting, though? That's what I want to know in comparison, because you have to look at that as well. Because if Barcola is getting 3 chances and he's scoring 1, and
I can tell you now easily.
and Rodrigo's getting 10 chances and he's scoring 2.
Very, very easy to look at. So what I will do to confirm that is to look at how many shots they have taken. Because every goal you score is through a shot, whether it's a header, shot, whatever.
But just in summary, please don't give us Barcola or Semenyo. Please.
No. Barcola is better than Semenyo. Don't do that crap.
Ashraf, let me ask you this then, yeah? Because obviously you're going to say Rodrigo. But if you had to pick between Barcola or Leao, who are you picking?
Leao.
I'd pick Leao, obviously.
Leao.
But guys, let me just tell you something very funny. Two things. So first of all, to answer
Barcola?
What'd you say?
No, I'll take Leao. I'll take Leao over.
No, I'm asking.
No. I would pick Leao.
He loves Leao, bro.
I was just asking Ashraf because he's guessing.
But you know who none of us are gonna pick though? Ashraf's Ashraf Starboy that he now has stopped backing for some reason. Gittins.
No, I haven't. I'll come to it. Guys, so to answer. No. I don't. I haven't stopped backing him. I haven't stopped backing him. But wait.
One more thing. Listen, and also I haven't taken the piss out of you today. Why are you dressed like one of them safari drivers in Dubai?
This is Palestine.
Listen,
It's from Palestine, you dumbass. Have you never seen a fire before?
No, I'm saying, why are you dressed like those white?
This guy is mad.
You drive them 4x4. You drive them 4x4.
Wait. I do drive a 4x4 actually. Thank you.
That's 400. That's 400 Arab Emirates.
To answer Sol's question.
درهم والله يلا
100 dirhams, please.
400 يلا دخل السيارة.
To answer Sol, guys, one sec. To answer Sol's question, because Sol said, yes, big up Cali every day, bro, every day, Cali. To answer Sol's question,
big up Cali.
Sol's is saying, we have to look at how many chances they take. Okay, so I've looked at shots, how many shots they take, excluding blocks. Rodrigo 1.8 per game. Leao 1.8 per game. Nico Williams 1.9 per game. Barcola 2.8 per game. So not only does he attempt more shots than them, he also has a better conversion.
Yeah, because PSG dominates the League One.
Okay, so
no, but we're talking about
guys. Wait, I'm not done. No, wait, I'm not. You cannot do all this propaganda and not say bias.
Look, Ash, no, sorry.
One sec.
He's gonna compare it in the national team.
He's gonna compare it to the
national team.
Exactly. Guys, let me finish
to the national team.
One sec, before you guys jump. So remember the stats I told you just now, about the leagues. That Barcola is better in conversion, much better in conversion, in fact. Better, obviously, it takes more shots and stuff like that, and yet his conversion is much better. When you compare them in the Champions League. So I've compared Barcola, Rodrigo, Leao in the Champions League, and then Nico Williams in the Europa League, because that's what he played. Barcola has the lowest conversion of all of them. He has 10.7%.
Okay, so here you go. That proves my point. That proves my point. The league matters, you know. Even look, Ash. Even in the golden
10.7%.
The golden score for Europe, they consider a factor with each league. They say, okay, if you score X amount in Premier League, then the factor is this much. The La Liga is that much. League One is that much. So
Yeah, but
it
Serie A
matters.
is
It matters. It matters. The league matters, Matty. I'm sorry, you cannot tell me Barcola in League One scoring 20 goals is the same as 10 goals in the La Liga, for example. It cannot be. I'm sorry.
No, but then you can use that same argument when it comes
League
to
Wahed?
Dembele's got 21 goals in the League One.
League Wahed McDonaldo?
20 non-penalty goals. Dembele's got 20 non-penalty goals. When you actually look at all of Dembele's goals, they're not the greatest goals. A lot of them have been, you know what I mean? But still,
Yeah, tap-ins and stuff.
Yeah, tap-ins. But still, numbers don't lie, and we have to be consistent with
Correct.
our argument. If you put the ball in the back of the net and you have a good conversion rate, then that has to be given as a metric. So, like, I
won't lie, guys. Ademola Lookman's conversion in league is better than all of them. It's 25%.
Yeah,
and in the Champions League, it's not bad.
Of course, bro. He is the sole reason they won. Okay, not the sole reason, but literally one of the main reasons they won the Europa League, bro. You know
yeah, give me Leao. Look, give me first option for me is Rodrigo. Second option for me is Nico Williams, and I'm going to give you slanders for that. I know. Great. No. Only because I've watched enough of Nico Williams now over the years.
I mean, Souls, you have been pretty balanced today, so you had to have one fraudulent statement. So I hear it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fine. And
we allow.
Okay, now to answer this Hayawan on his Gittins take, people also went crazy.
Third.
What I said about Gittins, I still stand by.
The two people below me that interrupt me with dodgy hairlines, let me finish, please.
We're not below you. We're on your same line. We're on the same line.
Cleanest hairline ever, bro.
I got I shall all flop there.
You flopped. Yeah,
I'm gonna stay quiet. I'm off form today. I'm off form today. While I'm off form.
We're in the same row.
Listen, it's all good. It's all good. You didn't flop.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, but now there's not 2 people but 3 people, so it's still wrong.
Exactly. It's still wrong. To answer, you've lost in every way, bro. You've lost in every way.
No, but Ashraf, tell me why Gittins would be a good option for Arsenal, please.
I'm about to say that, bro. Wait, shut up. To answer this fraud, for me, I never wanted Gittins as my number 1 option. All I've been doing for the last 6 months to a year is been talking about how talented he is. Big up T. I'm leaving in a minute.
Big up T.
Why are you poor numbers?
All I've been
his poor numbers.
Yalla, guys. Ciao.
Take care, team.
Big up T. Take care, man.
You were defending his numbers and saying that he's got good
bro.
talent and attributes, but then
we'll come to that. Let me first say my point. Then you can bring that argument. All I've been saying for the last 6 months to a year, or 6 months specifically, is that he's a very talented winger who's going to become a top player. So right now, if he does join Chelsea, which I'm assuming they will get it done after a Club World Cup, I think in 2-3 years' time, he's going to be better than what we have, like in terms of Martinelli and Trossard. He's quite talented. He can play on the right, can play on the left, can shoot, can dribble really well. In fact, dribbling, he's amazing. He's not just a decent dribbler. He's a very, very good dribbler. So I think he has massive talent. I would only take him at Arsenal if we get another top winger with him. So if we get Rodrigo and Gittins, and you tell me sell both Martinelli and what's his name? Trossard, I'll happily do it. Because I think Gittins as backup would be amazing, and he'd grow and he'd develop and all that stuff. But as a main starting winger right now, hell no. I wouldn't take him because I don't think he's there yet. But
I think the price tag is 60 mil, so I don't think you could get a backup for 60 mil.
Bro, 60 million is mad. I would not pay 60 million for a 20-year-old. I'm sorry.
But that's what they're requesting, right? Chelsea placed like
then they're stupid.
They got rejected.
Then they're stupid. I would only pay that kind of money for someone like Doué, Yamal, like people who have, even though they're that age, they've done.
So that's the point where you cannot get in with 60 mil and get him to be a backup. It doesn't work in my opinion.
Yeah, I know. I was saying the only way I would accept,
unless this is your main target, like you said.
No, he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be our main target. No matter how talented
would you take Leao? Would you take Leao over Williams? Would you take Leao second?
I would, bro. The reason I would, honestly, and I've said this before. Yes. The reason I take Leao, I know people talk about his attitude, not attitude, not even consistency. It's just his lackadaisical
rate.
behavior on the pitch. Doesn't come back. Doesn't work enough. I don't care about that. On the ball, he always creates magic, or he tries to at least. And I think we need a left winger that can create that kind of magic the way Saka does on the right. He's obviously a better dribbler than Saka.
That Portugal game
was mental.
Was
he came off the bench,
insane, bro. Like, do you know what it takes for a player to come?
I don't know why they didn't play him at the start.
No, but they did it perfectly because he rattled Spain, bro. Like completely rattled them, bro. Because they didn't know how to react to him always getting the ball and just being able to just glide past,
getting dangerous fouls. I mean,
they didn't know how to react to it, bro. Like the fact that he can come on and do stuff like that, bro. I can't lie. The main thing that me and Ash had an argument about last time in regards to Leao was I didn't like his decision making in the final third. Like the kind of decisions he passes at the wrong times. He tries to shoot. He tries to do little flicks. He tries to be a bit too flashy at times. Which sometimes I don't know who's playing something. Yeah, I can hear it. What's going on? Souls, brother. Are you playing something? Allah, mute ya, Habibi. This guy's such a fraud. You were playing something, bro, on your phone. I could hear it. But the thing is for me, is Leao. I feel like sometimes he's a bit too flashy. He tries to overdo it.
I'm surprised you can hear it with your small ears.
Bro, shut up. Your nose looks like a slide. So shut up, man. Anyway. Anyway, no, but he's a bit too flashy at times, bro, which I don't like, bro. Like sometimes he does bullshit, bro. Like he does bullshit. But the main thing for me, is I can't hate on his ability to get past players. I can't hate on his ability to cause problems on the left wing, bro.
Yeah,
now I'm starting to see what Ash was actually arguing about that, like for him last time we had that big spout, bro. On this is when it was still Sardek's Ash, bro. We had a massive argument. He started bringing out all the stats about look at his conversion rate compared to the top wingers and all this stuff. But like if you look at what he does on that left wing, how he causes problems, bro. I can't lie. I'm down for that, bro. I'm down for him coming to Arsenal, bro. I'm actually down for it, bro.
And by the way, guys, he's also rapid. He is a speed demon. People think he's not just quick on the ball. He's quick in pace as well. If you play a through ball and ask him to like run past the fullback, he can do that as well.
Yeah, but if I had to change,
that's why for me I'd take him second.
Yeah, if I had to change now, actually being all serious now, I think I'd go for Rodrigo as the first. Then I'd go for Lookman. Then I'd go for Leao. Then I'd go for Williams. You know what I mean?
Fair.
But it has been said that Williams was our main target though, Ash, on the left wing. Right?
Yeah, but now he's going to Barcelona, which I guess is good because I don't want him there. And to be honest, honestly, I think he'll work better at Barcelona as well. Spanish teammates, the same country. He plays with some of them in the national team. That understanding will be there.
He has more space. I think he has more space as well.
He'll have more space, and not just that, because they already have Rafinha there. He can take his time to adapt. With us, there's no time. If you're coming in as a starting left winger, you need to bang from day one. That's the pressure that's going to be there for him. I'm not saying there's no pressure in Barcelona. Of course, there is. Tremendous.
Yeah.
But he's going to be able to take his time to build it up.
Yeah. No, 100%. Listen, we'll end it there. Because obviously some of the lads got to go in it. So big up to you guys. I do appreciate you all staying by. Big up to Sammy in the office. We got Souls with that light bulb and a dusty camera, you fraud. And big up to Ash with his windows in his wardrobe. So big up to Ash, bro. I can't lie, bro. Souls was just the other day I was on a phone call with Souls inside just on our life, yeah. I was on a phone call with Souls, yeah. We were talking to each other, yeah, and I swear he sat there for a solid 3 minutes just laughing hysterically about the fact that you got windows in your wardrobe, bro. It's insane, bro.
How are you talking about my wardrobe?
Because it's so funny, bro.
Forget the wardrobe. Why is your sofa and the pillows the same color?
I'll explain. You've recycled that joke like a million times. And Saad, by the way,
haven't answered it yet.
Saad, by the way,
After
laughs. Saad laughs at every joke like he just heard a joke for the first time in his life. The reality is, one of them is homeless and moves from one place to another, and the other guy has garbage. The other guy has garbage on top of his closet. Every piece of clothing that he doesn't have time to fold and put in.
To be honest,
he just throws it on top of the closet.
Yeah, to be honest, Sad.
To be honest,
Sad. I'll be honest with you. Look, Ashraf's a clean guy. He knows OCD of everything. You know, Ashraf would never sleep in that room.
100%.
That room looks like a tip.
I'm never stepping in that room, bro.
Yeah.
You know what? If I was gonna go nuts right now, do you know what I mean? I'd say the mad stuff, bro. But
say the mad stuff.
we got listen. This is what's on top. Hold on.
Why thought this was on top? Yeah, that sounds mad. This is what's on top. Is crazy.
This is what I got on top of the wardrobe, bro.
Oh my god.
Guys, I guarantee you, he opens that. There are worms going in there. From how long it's been left in there?
Wallah, there isn't. This just got bought from Costco because I bought Costco. They have the 2-pack, bro. I only eat a cereal. Do you know what I mean? So I only have. Look at this guy bringing his cereal. Look at this. Dusty cornflakes, mate. Dusty cornflakes, bro. This is the real one, mate. This is the real one. Big up Kellogg's, man. Large up Kellogg's, man. This guy with his crave. Fraud.
Look at this.
Anyway, listen. Big up to the guys, man. Big up to the guys.
Ashraf probably has matching cereal boxes.
Hey, this is crazy. This is crazy. Ashraf's wardrobe is a TARDIS, bro. This is crazy. Big up to you, SE. That's actually a bad one. That's actually a bad one, bro.
Windows in your cupboard is crazy, bro. Honestly.
What are they? Are they actually windows? What are they?
Oqsim billah, they're not windows.
What are they? What is it?
It's a design that has like a marble thing behind. Not a window.
Shut the hell up.
Do you want me to show you proof?
Yeah, show me, God. Show me. They're windows. I can see it from here. You dusty you.
One second. I'll show you right now. Let me switch.
Shall I put you full screen?
No. Yeah. But let me switch to the other camera first.
No, actually, full screen anyway, because I want to see what them pillars are saying.
Yeah, we got the pillars. Right?
Wait. Yeah. Oh, shut up.
Bro, you look like you work for Al Jazeera.
let me switch off to the other camera first. One sec.
Brother, you look like you work for Al Jazeera, boy.
Bro, I wish I worked for Al Jazeera. They pay good money.
I can't lie, bro. Is that a see-through t-shirt?
That's what
One sec.
Hey, man's got the 60-year-old granny jacket hanging on.
One second, the mic is gonna cut. I'm gonna have to.
Oh my god! Oh my
god! Man's wearing a string vest, bro. It's nuts, bro.
They are windows. Ashraf, you look like you're hiding out. Ashraf, you look like you're hiding out in a bando.
In a bando is insane. In a bando is insane. Wallah, I love that.
You got stuff on top of your cupboard as well.
Oh wow! Look at this guy talking shit when he's got stuff on top of his wardrobe, bro. You bum. Look at this guy, bro. Clean it up, man.
Very neat, Ashraf.
Clean it up, man.
That's not very neat.
You scumbag. You scumbag. Clean it up, man. This guy, you mess. You're a mess of a human, mate.
That room
You're
looks
a mess
like
of a man, bro.
that room looks like is the places that you put mad people in, boy. You just lock them in there, boy. Blue pillows, brown wardrobe. There's no coordination. A jacket on the left.
We can't hear you.
Listen, Mr. Al Jazeera.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Can you hear me now? Okay. So I need to say a couple of things because I don't think you guys could hear me. But let me connect to a better camera because this camera just sucks.
Yeah. This camera is making you look like.
This camera is horrendous, bro.
Al Jazeera, bro.
Yeah, this is. Let me connect to the actual expensive camera that you guys can't afford, except Sami, of course. Sami is good.
Yeah, Sami can afford. Yeah, make sure you say except for Sami. Make sure.
Yeah, 100% except for Sami. Yeah,
me and Saad are broke.
Sami's a billionaire probably, but inshallah.
Obviously, I don't know about
anyway.
Saad.
Okay, so couple of things. I've just debunked your arguments about window and all that crap because obviously it's no window. Secondly, the stuff on top, hayawan, fraud, is my football that I don't use anymore, and badminton stuff that we bought ages ago because we used to go play badminton as a family.
Brother, who plays badminton, bro?
Your stuff is garbage Habibi, inshallah, when you get married and you have kids and all that stuff,
Well,
you will
Ashraf's
realize
right.
that you need
Well,
to.
Ashraf's right. No,
Your stuff, your stuff is garbage. This guy, you know, when sometimes you have dirty clothes and you just want to put, instead of putting them in the washing machine, you get lazy and some people just throw them somewhere. This guy just throws them in the closet. This guy,
shall I take? Shall I tell you why he took the biggest
Let me
L?
finish my sentence.
Shall I tell you why he took the biggest L?
By the way, guys, this is what happens behind the scenes. This is the normal talk that happens behind the scenes where they take each other's clothes.
This guy thinks he's Steph Curry. He takes his dirty clothes and he says, "Swish," and he throws it up on the closet.
Yeah. Sad. I'm gonna give you some advice, bro. Start cleaning, bro. I'll be honest with you. Because someone I'll be honest with you. Bro, I can't lie. Someone OCD is gonna hate
brother.
you.
Listen. Firstly, what do you mean my house? Are you skunked out your damn skull, brother? You come here and you can't even afford internet. You can't even afford internet. Yeah, it's not.
Why is your bed not done? Why is your bed not done?
It's great.
Why is your bed not done?
Why is your hair not done?
Guys,
how about that? Let's chat.
That is
Let's
true.
chat.
Wallah, that is true.
We were in a hat. We were in a hat.
I listen. We're not even going to go into
why
that.
are you laughing as well? Your dusty hairline as well.
Hold on. Listen, guys. I want to end this. Hold on.
Sad's got a wooden bed. Sad's got a wooden bed.
What is this?
What is this? Oh, Al Jazeera.
Hey.
Guys, let me say this. Let me say this.
The hairline for it as well.
One sec. Let me say this last thing as well, because some people are saying dusty. That's not dust. Again, that's a design. Souls knows this because he knows me, like he sees me in real life. I am a germaphobe, bro. I have 5 vacuum cleaners, including one underneath, like next to my legs, that I use everywhere around. You think I'll let dust be in my closet?
By the way, guys, I'm gonna be honest.
You
with
don't know.
You know me. I take the piss out of Ashraf all the time. I would never say that his stuff's dusty. I'll tell you why. Ashraf is probably the cleanest guy I've ever met in my life. Think of someone of perfect cleanliness. Like they'll clean their screen protector, their case.
I actually do.
Yeah, brother. Enough of this glazing. Sad is what? So go on.
No, I'm saying, like everything I've just said about Ashraf, you're the complete opposite. Sad's dusty.
Yeah, here we go.
Like he looks like he wears the same 5 days in a row. He's got his bed. Bro, how can you get off from your bed and leave it like that? Look at my bed. Look, done up. Right? Why is your bed
what's going on with your thing, bro? Anyway, listen. We got to everybody who has tuned in. We got to everybody who has watched. But listen, big up to everybody who has tuned in. Big up to everybody who has watched. You know what I mean? We just sat here for the last 5-10 minutes grilling each other.
Wait, hold on. TK said Soul's eyebrows touches dust in every room. Listen, TK. TK, listen. TK, listen.
I've seen the broom on top of his head, man.
TK, you dusty tubby Turk. Listen, yeah. Listen, you tubby Turk with your dodgy hairline. Yeah, go and put a hat on.
That was funny.
Your hair back because it's going back slowly, an inch at a time. You've got a 4K plasma forehead.
Bro, you know what? Yeah, T is sitting there right now smiling because he knows got your ass. That's it, bro. As soon as he made you that, bro, he was like, bro, he made you bite, bro.
Burn. But joke of the stream had to be the Al Jazeera one. That was quality. It was time,
bro. But you don't understand that intro, yeah, is heritage, bro. I remember I used to sit there as a young kid, bro. Just my dad watching that, bro, as it starts, bro, at 6 o'clock. Anyway, big up to everybody. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Actually, quickly, sorry, while I'm here, I have to do this, guys. Apologies. 1 second.
Hold on. SC said, Ashraf, open the wardrobe. Is it bigger on the inside?
Wallahi, SE is on a man.
That's on Dr. Who. Big up SC,
SC's taking no prisoners today, wallahi.
Man said Ashraf's Doctor Who. Man said Ashraf's wardrobe's TARDIS. No, this is too much.
Hey, brother, you got the thing on. You got it on like a scarf, mate. Do you know what I mean? We got Doctor Who.
No, the scarf's calm. It's the t-shirt with the holes in it. I don't know what he's doing, bro.
Yeah, what's going on? You wearing a string vest? Is it a string vest?
Are you guys okay? This is a normal t-shirt. It's from LC Waikiki.
Say what I want.
I actually wish he was here. LC Waikiki. It's a brand, Turkish brand.
Mad. I've never heard
Kinky.
that brand.
Kinky.
Yeah, that's Dusty brand.
LCY Kiki. Who the hell said
You're
Kinky?
moving.
Are
You're
you
moving,
okay?
Hey,
bro.
Caliguna,
You're
Caliguna,
moving
hey,
insane.
hey, listen, Caliguna, you pussy.
Sad,
Look,
are you deaf?
Hey,
It's
hey,
3
Don't call
fingers.
Caliguna
Never
pussy.
get 5. Look, 3 finger forehead. Look, not one bit of space below or above. I have 3 fingers. My forehead's not big. 5 is TK's forehead or Ashraf's forehead. I have a
Hey, listen,
three-finger forehead.
Mine is
Cali,
not. Mine is
Cali,
still as well.
Cali, I apologize. Cali, I apologize. I can't control what someone says in it. So if he calls you a pussy, or it is what it is, do you know what I mean? You just gotta cuss him out more. But listen, I'm gonna pass you guys over to Footy Judge Mo, mate. Yeah, Footy Judge Mo, where you can go over there and you can call him an inter fraud, mate. Yeah, an inter fraud. We are
Bro,
out.
I have
here.
a better one. Put 5-0 PSG. Trust me, that's
Yeah,
even better.
5-0. 5-0 to PSG. That's it. Put that on. Anyway, latest people. Love for the love. Peace.